Good afternoon from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. The Titans signed offensive lineman Chris Hubbard. Earlier today, he actually practiced just a little while ago at Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park. Over his career, he has started 48 games. 41 of those were at the right tackle position. Just a little while ago, we found out that Jalen Ramsey just had a successful surgery on his meniscus. He is expected to be out all the way until December. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, as well as home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone. Yo, what up, Nashville? 3HL on the air, 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. It is Friday. Whoa. Look who's back.
Who was that?
Hi, guys! What's up? I
back, man.
missed all y'all.
How was your assignment, Babsy?
My assignment was fabulous. Although the back half of my assignment was not good. I actually haven't slept yet.
Yeah, forget it. What sleep for what?
Well, I took like an hour nap today.
Oh, what is that? That's all you need in life is naps.
Yep, there was bad weather. Our connecting flight, 6-hour delay. Didn't get to Atlanta until about 3:30 in the morning.
If you tell everyone where your assignment was, no one's going to feel bad for you about all of that.
They sound
yeah,
right.
that's true.
Yep, might want to pause that.
We went to Dominican Republic for my husband's birthday.
The DR. The
Yeah.
DR. And Babsy lost her phone in the pool, but still was texting. And we were like, how's she doing this?
Y'all,
Aquaman
it
would've got
survived.
it.
I have no idea how.
It must be a galaxy.
No, it's not. No, this is how it survived. So our buddy Oscar, who took care of us at our house that we stayed at there, I got out of the pool. I was like freaking out.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, give it to me. I'm like,
this.
okay.
I got this.
So like 4 hours later, I go in the kitchen or whatever. It's in an entire bag of rice.
Rice does it.
Sure enough.
That's what they say.
That bad boy survived.
That's what they say.
No, it's probably going to die at any point today. There's no telling
charge.
what's going to come out of my mouth today with no sleep. This is just a Shiano show waiting to happen, I'm sure.
It seems like
But it's
welcome
great
home.
to be back.
Welcome
Brent
home.
Doherty, Don Davenport, and this guy,
Welcome
Ron
home.
Slay, with a bag of
I'm in the
Sunchips.
building. I'm in the building.
Best believe I'm in the building.
Better be ready. I'm in the building.
I ain't got no rules.
Time for the show.
Oh, man, I missed y'all. We got camp going on now.
We miss you, too. I don't
We
know if
did
you
miss
got
you, baby.
messages as to, some of the content that was happening on this show.
It was a little bit
This is what happens when I'm
Shiano-ish. It was Shiano-ish.
All right, let me revisit yesterday, which this was completely unscripted, and it went from talking about Nick Saban when he gets in his office, he watches the Weather Channel and then eats a oatmeal cream pie, which I happen to say on top of that, I hate oatmeal cream pies, and then everybody started attacking me.
I love them.
Okay, well.
The best scene in a movie ever is Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, where there's that massive oatmeal cream pie in the yard.
Right. So, I took it. I took it from the good people out there that love oatmeal cream pies. And
They went after him, as
They
they
went
should
after
have.
me, and I guess I'm the only one in America who doesn't like oatmeal cream pies. But then I saved myself a little bit by saying Swiss cake rolls are the best.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know.
Recovered.
I'm
So
reading our chat today, and
that led
I don't
us-
know what the heck you guys did while I was
It
gone.
was wild.
That led us down a path of like a Little Debbie hostess path. Like, what's the best snack cake?
Yep.
Swiss cake rolls.
See? Okay. There we go. It's a good start.
It is a good start. I ain't mad at that.
Is it?
Yes, hunk.
I thought you were going to ask a question, like a legit question.
That is a question.
Why are we still talking about the stupid Little Debbie case?
Right, because Dawn is back, and she missed it.
The yellow
So-
light is back, hunk. Don't worry.
Then
I-
be yellow.
I wanted to
Oh,
get
he
her
loves
take
it.
on the best. So the funny thing is, like, every like Little Debbie hostess snack that popped up out of my mouth or someone else's,
Slay was like, oh, yeah, I love that too.
Slay loves them all.
You're correct. 100%.
This is not a surprise to anybody.
100%.
Oh, man. 3HL presented by our great friends at Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, springhillac.com. The F&M bank chat is wide open. You can
By
watch
the way,
the show, YouTube, Facebook, Live, Twitter, Twitch.
Twitch, please.
By the way, what?
It's hot as something I shouldn't say on air.
Walls.
Here.
Y'all know?
All of that.
You know what? I was coming in today.
It was
though?
102 on my car coming in.
And
From the window to the wall.
how hot
it's
it is.
hot.
I'm gonna tell you exactly how hot it is.
How
I'm
hot
driving.
is it?
Yeah. You want me to tell you how hot it is?
How hot is it?
This is how hot it is.
All right.
I was driving and I continued to try to let my windows up. My windows were already up with the AC on blast.
Yeah.
It was so hot. I kept looking around like, dude, there's got to be a window down. It can't be this.
That's how hot it is.
Different hot. When you look around in your car and you think a window is down. Scorching.
Man. Thinking about those guys at camp today, thinking about everybody that has to work out in this heat on roofs.
Roofers. Be careful, man.
Landscapers, all that. Man,
Hydrate.
You
Can
guys
you imagine being a
take care of
roofer right now?
yourself. No.
No.
Or like paving or
Nah, anything with melting.
anything
I feel
with
like
melting.
we've been pretty lucky too so far this
Yeah,
summer.
we have, but
we
like-
haven't had the heat waves
Right.
until
That's done.
right when Titans camp
Yep.
starts. Welcome in, boys. Here you go.
That's what
is.
Slay said on Monday. It was like, look at the weather on Wednesday when they hit the
crank
field
up.
for the first time, 97.
It's different, man.
Yeah, and like it's the next 3 weeks or so.
Yeah. I will say, even though I was on assignment, I have kept up with, the videos that are out there and all of that from camp. Apparently the heat is already hurting this offensive line. Oy.
Is that what's hurting the offensive line?
I mean, maybe it can be their excuse.
It's too hot. Maybe that's a bit
I would put Peter Skoronski at left tackle. That's what I'm just saying. Just saying.
Okay, now we're worried about left tackle.
Yeah.
Dillard had a day today.
I think.
What was his day like?
So did
I need to know.
Dillard have a day or did Arden Key have a day? Or is there somewhere in between?
It's somewhere in between. I mean,
Because Arden Key had 7 sacks today.
It's a lot.
I'm going to go with Dillard had a day because that's just not normal.
I've been saying all offseason,
Come
I can't
on.
wait to see Arden Key in training camp.
Oh, you getting a chance.
You've been all about him. But
So I don't want to let
7
go of that, but I'm concerned about Andre Dillard. Yes.
You want me to give
Very
you a silver
concerned.
lining?
Yeah, his name's DeAndre Hopkins, especially in single
Most
coverage.
definitely.
All right, we'll get to that part. But
Okay.
let's-
But yeah, what's the other silver lining?
I was going to say, they're not in pads yet. So maybe they want to get physical with Arden Key to keep him away, but they like, I ain't got no pads on, so I ease up on him.
Okay. I'll go with that.
You like that one?
Keep your powder dry, like Coach Mack always tells us.
We,
I'll go
we
with
shall
that.
see on
all right, but
Monday is fast approaching.
Radar
though.
up, though, right?
Oh, it's very high. Radar's up.
Yeah, there's a massive difference with no pads.
Yeah,
I
it is.
get it.
It is. And I just want us to love everyone. Like
What?
Like, listen,
Flower child.
what
What are you doing over
Who
there?
are you? That is not what we do.
I just want to listen, man.
Like a hippie.
I mean, listen, man.
Nothing
Training
against
camp
hippies, I'm
just
just saying.
started, man. Like I don't like we don't want to nose
You don't
dive
wanna-
yet. Like, wait a minute. Why we
You don't
got
want
to
to
pull the
completely
parachute?
disrespect this offensive line yet.
Let's not abandon ship yet, man. Please.
Now we're not even talking about right tackle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
And it's Jalen Duncan, the 6th-round pick.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
Real quick, before we go to break, Rhett Bryan is going to come in here from Titans Radio, and we'll get all into
Well,
all of
ask him.
that. Yeah, he was there today.
I know what he'll say. They're not even in pads.
This from Circus Sports. Hawaii at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt an 18-point favorite. These are week 1 lines.
Wow, that's a huge line.
Florida at Utah. Utah by 8. Kentucky by 26 over Ball State. Sorry, Blaine. North Carolina by 3 over South Carolina and Charlotte.
That's going to be a fun one to watch.
Bama by 40 over MTSU.
40.
Yeah. I talked to Coach Stockstill today. I love that dude.
Mm-hmm. Good
I'm dead serious. Like, in terms of, like, dudes, that guy,
Best.
unreal. But Alabama by 40. Auburn by 40 over UMass.
40, huh? Might go with the under on that one.
No, Hugh's going to want to prove
40.
a point.
It's UMass.
It's 40.
Hugh's going to want to prove a point.
You are absolutely right.
Texas A&M by 38 over New Mexico.
Hugh is going to want to prove a point while he's not play calling.
That's right. LSU by 2 over Florida State. That's going to be a game right there.
Florida State fascinates me this year.
Me too.
They tricked it off last year.
I feel like you just don't know.
We talked about their quarterback yesterday, Jalen. Jaden Daniels is getting all the attention at LSU, but
LSU.
Look out for Florida State
Travis.
there. Jordan Travis. Yeah, you got your list. Your top 10 list. That doesn't include Joe Milton. Tennessee by 28 over Virginia in Nashville.
I think that's going to be pretty accurate.
It's going to go over that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not, yeah, you know what I'm saying.
More than 28.
Yes.
All right, more Titans talk with Rhett Bryan, executive producer of Titans Radio, next on 104.5 The Zone. You want me to go or are you
What's
going?
happening?
You going?
Everybody's going.
Well, we're all going.
Well, I'm going to get your hair right first. Summer is time
You
to feel
talking about
and
hair,
look
I'll
your
talk
best.
about Gupton. We
Let's
can do it all at the same time.
I'm not talking about tans or abs, though. You want in that, Betsy? Let's roll.
You go get a convertible at Gupton and you get your hair done.
You put the roots back on.
Yeah, it'll be just blowing in
It's
the breeze.
beautiful. This is beautiful, y'all. Who else can do this? Did I mention advanced hair even guarantees your new hair will grow?
Gupton and advanced hair. That's who'll do it.
Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during Advanced Hair's best offer ever. You need to hit them up, 629-348-HAIR. The summer sales event is on for a limited time, so schedule your free consultation and get details today. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With Advanced Hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. That's 629-348-HAIR or advancedhair.com. Then travel on over and guess what? Go get your car.
Get your car, new, pre-owned, whatever you need. Car, truck, SUV, Jeep. Sprinter van, Gupton's got you covered. Daniel Gupton, Ken Gupton, the guys. 3450 Tom Austin Highway. Get it done this weekend. It's going to be a beautiful weekend, and it is a beautiful drive. 3450 Tom Austin Highway in beautiful Springfield, Tennessee. All you got to do is take 24 west to exit 35 toward Clarksville, exit 35, 9 miles outside the city. Then a beautiful drive into the best vehicle buying experience you've ever had. They will not put pressure on you at all. They want you in the vehicle that's right for you. That's it. So they want what you want, and that's what will happen. So you talk about what you're looking for. Maybe you need more room. Maybe you need lesser of a payment. Maybe you need something more reliable. Repair bills might be getting you. Gupton will be able to help you out. Take your test drive, go inside. They will help make the numbers work, and it'll be that easy. Gupton, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, 3450 Tom Austin Highway. You can check them out online. GuptonMotors.com is the website. All the dealership information is there. And are you okay over there?
Trying to smell my salad.
Okay. All of the inventory is there as well. Get it done this weekend. If you're looking around dealership to dealership, certainly include Gupton. If you haven't started the process, start with them and you'll end with them. Gupton, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, GuptonMotors.com. 3HL 1045, The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay with you until 6 o'clock. The after party from 6 until 7. Rhett Bryan, Titans radio executive producer in studio. Rhett B, what's up?
Go on.
What's
happening, everybody? Good to be back with the whole show back in all of their usual seats and places.
Yes.
Good.
I have a pink microphone cover now.
You do?
Since I've been
How about
gone.
that?
Yeah, I like
We
it.
thought you might be excited about that.
I'm very
Yeah,
excited
I think our
about it.
chief engineer, Mike Buckner, who is a man of many talents, didn't like the pop screens that we had, and so he just got some nice wind screens that are very, very colorful.
I love
the
them.
orange suits the VFL here.
Yeah.
This is good.
That's right.
So,
It's good stuff.
Titans training camp
Yeah.
began on Wednesday,
Yes.
and we're finishing up a half a week. What have you learned out there so far, generally speaking?
I think what I'm learning is, well, first of all, this just in, DeAndre Hopkins really good.
That's what Coach Mack said yesterday.
Really good.
Sources close to him indicate that he can catch the ball.
Yeah, he's going to be just fine.
Also,
Those
these
videos.
videos of him, like I know, like he's not known for having like frontline speed and that kind of thing, but
That's
like,
not his game. Never has been.
His footwork, though, I've talked about for years, like the best footwork I've seen out there from a receiver is Derrick Mason. He had basketball feet, like just quicks.
Mm-hmm.
DeAndre Hopkins has that.
And that's where he can win what Coach Mack calls that red line from, about the 5 yards to the out of bounds marker that they want them to win, all the time against.
I've not said that about
DBs.
anybody since Derrick Mason.
Sure.
I'm saying it about DeAndre.
Well, and the thing that you'll see, and this is without giving away trade secrets, but he is already working well with Ryan Tannehill, and you can tell that his acumen and skill set. Sure, there's things to work on, but the natural ability is all there as we knew. But pairing that together with a guy you hadn't played with is a
Right.
little something different. I saw him sit down on a route. He knew exactly where he was supposed to be, exactly the spot. Sat on the route, got the catch, first down. I mean, those are the kinds of things you're going to see, and super talented individual, and super glad he's wearing two-tone blue.
Do you know what else I love?
What do you love, Don
I
Davenport?
love his, you can tell it. He listens to the haters. He's all in on that part of it. Like his tweet that I retweeted today, was NFL tweeted the video of his amazing catch, which I was kind of like, hey, can you please stay on your feet? I need you to not do that.
Stay off the ground.
Yeah, you kind
Don't get on the ground.
I was a little worried about that, and maybe don't practice. Like
Sure.
everybody says that you don't practice. Maybe you should just do that now. Okay, we're good. You and Tannehill are good. Maybe
Like a
don't
good
practice.
chemistry?
But NFL tweeted that video and said, "Who's that guy wearing 10 in Nashville?" And he quote tweeted it and said, "I was told he doesn't practice." He is all in on and you can say what you want if it's good or bad, but he hears the hate,
Fuel the
he
fire.
hears the criticism, and it's clearly fueling his fire because there have been multiple tweets where he has clapped back at somebody.
He mentioned it in his availability on
Right.
Tuesday after Vrabel spoke.
And
That people
I
say, I'm
like
not
that.
practicing. I don't know what that is, but
Yes.
But yeah, a petty and trivial
Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
Yes.
Probably a good thing for the
I
Titans,
mean,
right?
Without question.
inject that in Ryan Tannehill's arm.
go.
You want guys with chips on shoulders, and listen, Vrabel's doing a great job collecting them. As well as the Titans. When you look at the Nico, Arden Key, the DeAndre Hopkins, the list goes on and on.
And DeAndre, the two things that stood out to me the other day in his availability, and I think he will be available tomorrow after practice, I'm told. He mentioned not only the relationship with Mike Vrabel that he'd had through his whole time, even after both of them
Houston.
departed Houston. And so that speaks to the relationships that Coach Vrabel has with these guys, which is clearly special, or it wouldn't be. But he also talked about his
Which we can
relationship with
see.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
And Derrick Henry was a major factor in bringing him here. Staying on offense, Brent, to answer your question another way, number 18, Kyle Phillips.
Yes, give me some.
He's added some functional play strength, which he needs. Coach Mack says he needs a little more armor, a little more iron. He's got that, and I like what I see there so far.
Do you remember he really stood out last year in camp?
Yep.
We've got a promo running right now,
Right.
that our program director put together, Paul Mason put together, that says His first time on an NFL field, he went for 50-plus yards. It was a 52-yard return or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean,
can he
he
stay
has
healthy and
ability.
sustain?
That's the $1 million question in this. The offensive line continues to be topical.
That's a very nice way to put it.
Yes. Yes.
Topical.
So, Jamarco Jones has reps yesterday at right tackle. Jalen Duncan, the rookie from Maryland, pick 186 in round 6, who has 39 starts, I think, at Maryland. He got the reps today. But there are other guys, and it'll be interesting to see how this kind of cycles through. They signed Chris Hubbard, the veteran. He was out there practicing today wearing number 66.
We hadn't hit that yet, but yes.
Yeah. And then there's the undrafted rookie from Boise State, John Ojukwu, who started his career at Boise. He's a 5-year player because of COVID stuff. 18 starts at right tackle and then moved to left and had 33 straight starts there. So he's got experience. Very smart guy. I think his degree is in kinesiology, so he's not a dummy. He is a smart fella. Yeah. So you got him, and you got some other things. Tyler Rupsich, I think, is another one that Coach Vrabel mentioned the other day. So that's something to watch.
I'm not going to lie. That all those names don't make me feel better about where they are.
I understand it keeps you up at night.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to take some melatonin and keep your powder dry.
and
we'll be okay.
You're going to tell me they don't even have pads on, right? You're going to tell me that.
I mean, yeah, that's true. That is true. Although those come out on Monday, I believe. That would be correct.
Oh. Is it supposed to be as hot as it is today on Monday?
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be the gates of Hades, basically.
Let me in.
But, I mean, El Nino was kind to us in the first part of the summer, and then El Nino shifted, and now here we are in the heat like we normally are in the dog days of summer.
Yeah.
That's what I said earlier. I'm like, it waited, and then it was like, oh, camp's here. Here we go, boys.
Yeah, because I was silently going, golly, this is, there's some nice mild day. Nope. Never mind.
Nope.
Never mind.
Negative.
It is currently 98 degrees.
Oh.
With a heat index of
105.
There it is.
At
like
3:28 in the afternoon.
There it is.
Monday, 92.
So I've been
it's better.
getting here really early because this is when the grind starts. And so I've been getting here really early to start getting some things prepped and ready for the season immediately. I've been working on stuff all summer, but it really ramps up now. And I've averaged walking in the door around 6 o'clock, 6:15 in the morning, and 82 degrees on my car temperature driving into the parking lot. I'm like, yep, going to be a hot one.
Different.
But yeah, so, and then defensively,
That's what I was going to ask you. Yep.
it's so great that Harold Landry is out there doing stuff. Not on the PUP.
Healthy.
Now, they're
They're easing him.
We're easing into this, but he's there.
Yeah.
He's doing reps.
Harold Landry today saying, I'm ecstatic to be back. I don't even think about it on the field. I knew at the end of the day I was going to come back stronger. The knee feels great. Says his ACL is damn near perfect.
And that is, Ron Slay, nearly 11 months to the day of when he tore it, because I believe it was August 30th, just before Labor Day weekend.
Yep.
And we heard that, I think it happened on a Wednesday, and we got it that Thursday afternoon, and then we're like, ooh.
Yeah.
But that's a great thing. Arden Key, listen, it was no secret that Mike Vrabel liked this guy, wanted to bring him in, worked in concert with Rand Carthon. And a lot of these guys they brought in, these vets, they have a baseline of work but have not really proven it on their own. So there's some things driving that. I mean, we're talking Aziz Al-Shire, Daniel Brunskill on the offensive line, and Arden Key, who, he's a second-round pick at LSU, third-round pick, and has had success, but is ready to turn it up to 11, as Spinal Tap would say. Vocal, loves being out there. I mean, he seems to be just an instant fit for what they're trying to do in this, and has been disruptive, man. Big time.
How much? I mean, it's hard to tell. No pads, and I think, like I heard Buck earlier say, I think I'm the only person Arden Key didn't sack today.
He had 7, according to reports.
Yeah, but how much of that is it? And this is what Brent asked: is it somewhere in between? How much of it is struggling on the left side of the line? How much of it is Arden Key?
Well, it's a combination of those things. And here's the other thing that we've got to remember while we're not being instant evaluators, as Coach Mack would say. Defense is normally better in the front end of camp anyway.
Right.
That's true.
And you got to remember, Tim Kelly is installing a new offense. In fact, Mike Vrabel spoke about that, I think, after Wednesday's practice, that his approach has been a little different in 2 days of work and an off day. An off meaning more of a jog through, and now it's more of just a walk through, so that guys aren't going full tilt boogie in terms of speed and reps and power. And at the same time, remembering that they're installing everything. And so by day 8, 9, 10, they'll have everything installed and now working off of muscle memory at that point.
Yeah. But still staying with defense, we saw that video put out of DeAndre Hopkins catching that ball. It looked like Christian Fulton was guarding him. Mm-hmm. One thing about it, if that's not Hopkins, if that's somebody else, I like our chances with that. Fulton, how has he been looking? Because he was in his pocket right there. That was just a hell
everything
of a catch.
that I've seen so far, his coverage has been exactly where you want it to be.
Movement good.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, he's, yeah, I think against a lot of folks,
right,
that not being DeAndre Hopkins, I think you'd like that outcome for sure. And look, you're talking about a guy going into a contract year, lots to prove, trying to stay on the field himself.
Yep.
I mean, look, the underlying thing in all of this is trying to stay away from as much injury bug stuff. And, everybody had PTSD with everything happening yesterday with Jalen Ramsey and
Joe Burrow.
Yeah. I mean, so, that's the biggest part of this. And so I think that's where they are tweaking some things, like him talking about changing the training camp schedule 2 days on, 1 off, and it not being a jog through, faster paced, but a jog through, but a walk through, I should say. And those things, and you hear them talking more about analytics, and they've been doing analytics in the building for quite some time. It just hasn't been talked about a bunch, but they're adding more people in that
hired
department.
A bunch of people. Yep.
They absolutely did. And so, they're doing their due diligence to try to figure that part of things out, and anything else that's advantageous.
Which is interesting because the 49ers were one of the biggest analytical teams in football. So all of this makes sense. DeAndre Hopkins tweeted, "I was told he doesn't practice." He retweeted like a little practice film of himself. That has been like a talking point. I hadn't really heard that until he came here.
I heard whispers of it in
kind of fed up about that talking point.
I heard whispers of it towards the tail end of the 2022 season when he was in Arizona, that was a thing, and obviously it wasn't. I don't guess it was a thing. He's saying it wasn't. So but I had heard that a little bit last year. Yeah, maybe. I mean, who knows?
We all know sometimes a change of scenery is what you need.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And this locker room fits his personality. I mean, we talked about that when they were trying to, bring him in. Like that, it just made sense from that perspective. But seeing videos today, like one-on-ones with wide receivers and cornerbacks from A to Z Sports, for example, and Treylon Burks, dude, oh my. That guy on those clips looks like he's turned a corner.
I'll tell you who else has on defense, Rashad Weaver.
Yeah.
Added functional play strength, stronger, speed to power, always been his game, but improving that part of it. You can tell
see the difference.
You can tell who's been putting in the work. You can absolutely tell.
That. Monster Maker was his trainer this offseason. Yeah. But let's go there. You mentioned Kyle Phillips earlier, Chig, Treylon Burks, guys that need to show some development going into year 2 on various levels. We kind of ran the numbers with Chig, and like his first 8 games last year, he caught 8 balls. His last 7 games, he caught 24 balls. And like on tape, you can see it with your eyes, but also in the statistics, you can make that case too. He's a guy that really came on toward the end of the season last year, where you're always looking for first-year guys where the light goes on. That's kind of what I was getting to with Treylon Burks with these clips, man. Like there's just a different confidence level, it looks like, with him going against Christian Fulton in one of these. And made a great catch. DeAndre Hopkins made a great catch in the end zone on a one-on-one play with Christian Fulton. So, those 3 guys going from year 1 to year 2, that's imperative that they make a big jump.
Well, and let's underline it with this, Brent, because Lord knows they've had enough problems with injuries. 177 different guys on the roster the last 2 seasons. Here's a byproduct of that is a positive dividend. You got a lot of young guys who got some valuable playing time, who now can go out and do things. Think about Roger McCrary in year 2.
Yeah.
Chika Okonkwo in year 2, as you mentioned. Traylon Burks on getting his path completely different from what it was at this time a year ago. Same thing with Kyle Phillips after the season started and he got banged up. All the way down to guys like Trey Avery at cornerback, who I saw him make a couple of nice plays in practice today. Yeah. Those are the things that are going to pay dividends going forward because they've been thrust into the frying pan, if you will, into the fire because of necessity is the mother of invention here. They had no other choice. They had to get out there and do stuff. Let me tell you something else too. I think a guy who's going to have a really good camp and going to build off an awesome rookie year is Ryan Stonehouse.
Yeah,
that dude. I timed 2 punts today over 5 seconds.
Wow.
No problem. I mean,
it's funny that you mentioned
I thought he was
him.
going to cause it to rain because he'd pierced a cloud.
It's funny. Well, we need it. It's funny that you mentioned him because I felt like the other day that Coach Vrabel mentioned him without mentioning him. He was talking about A.J. Moore coming in, and he said, look, we got a punter that can get the ball down the field. We need gunners.
Right. Yes.
And I was like, okay. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so, like, with Stonehouse, Brett Kern's the best that's ever done it here, and that's saying something that because Craig Hendrick was here. Brett Kern's best skill, I thought, was being able to get the ball down the field as far as he could, but having the returner catch the ball running out of bounds. So Stonehouse can kick it farther, and Kern told us, like, he knew it on the first kick. It just sounded different, right? But he does have that element of kicking it down the middle of the field, which leads to return sometimes. Like, he's got so much room to grow that it's kind of exciting to watch his watch his career trajectory, right?
And that's the thing is I'm sure he's working on, still holding for field goals and extra points.
Exactly.
That's something he worked on feverishly last year when he became the starting punter. But, yeah, directional punting, massive in this. And Coach Vrabel, he's the head coach. He knows what he's talking about. Finding gunners is key in this because he can stick it up there like moonshots, man, just one after the other. So that's exciting to see.
If you get that over 5 second hang time.
I had one at 5.16 seconds.
And you put it down the middle of the field, it doesn't matter.
And another one at 5.12.
I mean, we could run down there in 5.12.
I get done by about 3. As soon as I get this hip together, boy, I'm telling you, I'm
get the adrenaline going in the game.
I'm going to be a blur.
You put those Oilers throwbacks on.
I'm gone, baby. Love you, blue.
But this is the pivotal time where they're installing all this stuff, and you're starting to see some things, and there'll be ebbs and flows through camp just like there is every year.
Yep.
But it's all leading up to that first preseason game, and more importantly, the joint work that they're going to do with the Minnesota Vikings there before the second preseason game, and then obviously with the New England Patriots before the finale here at home.
Those are the big ones.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Speaking of joint work, at 420, former Titan Pro Bowler Mark Mariani will join us. Do you have another segment?
At 420, you said.
Yes, that's right.
Interesting. I saw what you did right there. I do have another segment.
All right, Rhett Bryan,
Let's go.
Titans Radio executive producer. More with him about Titans training camp. Next, 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
Hey, everyone. What's happening? Big Slay here, along with Babsy. And picture this. Working remotely from home and your power goes out. It's happening more and more lately. Yeah, no need to compromise with Mother Nature anymore. Get and Generac home standby generator. It's real simple. You got to invest in it with Cove Generators. It could be the smartest investment you can make, Babsy.
Yes, absolutely. Cove Generators is who you need to contact because they're the experts at fitting the right generator for your home. That's all they do. So, they know what they're doing. And Cove Generators is your premier Generac home standby generator dealer. They offer service and repair on all brands of residential and industrial generators. So, you can be ready for the next power outage. Call Cove Generators so they can inspect and perform maintenance on your automatic standby generator or any brand of generator that you own. What is it? SladeCoveGenerators.com?
That's right. That's exactly what it is, Babsy. And don't be caught in the dark just standing there looking like, I need lights, power. Stay connected.
Nobody wants candles.
Why?
931-559-3311. Cove Generators.
3HL 1045 The Zone. We got you. Till 6 o'clock. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay, executive producer, Titans Radio. Rhett Bryan in studio talking about Titans training camp. Jim on YouTube, hit that like button, please.
Please.
Thank you, Jim.
And don't forget to crush that like button and hit that notification bell. That way you're apprised of everything we're doing.
DHB, love segments with Rhett B.
You got to.
Thank you.
Laura, love the positivity coming out of training camp from Rhett Bryan.
Thank you, Laura.
Jim freaking Nance, yep, love listening to Rhett break down the Titans. He is spot on.
Very nice.
How about that?
I feel the love.
I want to go back to Arden Key because that's my guy.
Arden Key.
So,
a crush.
Everybody tweeting about 7 counted sacks, and he said he had 7 sacks today. As you can't really sack the quarterback, but you can run by him.
Yep. And they would go, yep, that would be a sack.
Who's your father?
Sure.
And so we're curious about, is that more on him than Dillard? We talked about that earlier. It's somewhere in between. Defense has the advantage, all those things. But, man, I'm excited to see Arden Key in pads. And the pads come on Monday.
Yeah.
This is a dude that has a chip on his shoulder, feels like he was underutilized in Jacksonville, is pissed off that they got rid of him, kind of like Danico Autry when he came here from Indianapolis, saying some of the same things. And we saw what Danico Autry did when he left Indianapolis. So anxious to see this guy with pads on.
Absolutely. And that's those 2 dates against Jacksonville is going to be a great thing to
And it's
get your
important too,
popcorn ready.
right? Because it's going to be a close division. And
yes,
if you can split, the Titans have the advantage schedule-wise now with regard to Jacksonville. So, I mean, those are 2 huge games.
Listen, everyone nationally is ready to give them the AFC South crown again just because they won it in Week 18 with 3 minutes to go in the damn ball game.
Against Josh Dobbs.
Think about that, y'all. The
Bad
Titans
Titans
could have
team.
won it for a 3rd consecutive time,
I
for a
think
3rd
people forget
consecutive
that.
season. And, now I'm not discrediting. Listen, Jacksonville's got a good team. They've
Yeah,
got
they
the
do.
quarterback.
They do.
They got the pieces
Got
in
some skill
place.
guys, too, yeah. Mhm.
And if some of those draft picks they've been pulling off on the last 3 or 4 drafts defensively fall in there, Trayvon Walker and some of those other guys, I mean, look out. But let's hold on a second. The games have got to be played here.
Yeah.
And last time I checked, Titans look like they're in pretty good shape. DeAndre Hopkins is here. I mean, I know nothing's been done yet, but let's pump the brakes just a little
It's
bit.
There are a
tad
couple
bit.
of things that aren't getting attention this offseason for whatever reason, and that's Ryan Tannehill being here and being healthy, and Derrick Henry, who spoke with the media today. Not a lot of people talking about Derrick Henry. We're talking about his contract. He's going into the last year of his deal, which, I mean, should provide extra motivation. Maybe it shouldn't. I don't know, but it usually does. Slay was putting together his whiteboard earlier in the offseason, and we put the over-under at 1350, and I think I stupidly went under, which now I'm going over. I'm convinced that dude is going to have a big season.
I might still go under the 1350 just because of my favorite player in the NFL draft this year, Tajay Spears. I think he's going to put a little dent in some of those numbers. Not a ton, but enough to maybe go on the other. I hope he's over.
Could you go? Could you go fewer carries, more yards per carry because of fewer carries?
I'd be
Does
okay
that
with
make sense?
I'd be okay with that. Yeah,
because I'm with you on
absolutely.
Tajay Spears. I think he's going to be a dynamic playmaker for them and fully involved in the gameplay.
And I think you're going to see a lot of sets where those guys are maybe in there at the same time.
Yeah.
But Derrick Henry, look, he had a long press availability today after practice, and you knew that he was going to get questions about the position of running back in the National Football League. It was talked about that he basically got a chatter started or a meeting or a text chain, whatever. And then he said Austin Eckler, the Chargers running back, basically took it over from there and ran with it. And it was him and, Jonathan Taylor from the Colts and several different guys. And he talked about, he said, if these young kids coming up, he said, might want to play linebacker until something straightens out with us running backs in terms of the pay.
Yikes.
And look, the problem with this is the position itself. They're being asked to do more in the game. I mean, look at Derrick Henry. He's brought up his numbers receiving out of the backfield every year, and he wasn't asked to do that very much at Alabama.
33
He
last
has
year.
worked his hind end off every year to get better at that because he knows it's a big part of the game.
Yeah.
But the problem is your best productive years at that position usually are under your rookie deal. And you're getting when you get that second contract, it's for what you've done, not what you're going to do.
Yeah.
And that, look, Le'Veon Bell is the gold standard example.
Yep.
That's right.
Went through that rookie deal and then franchise tagged him a couple times, and that was it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I mean, he really didn't do a whole lot when he went to, what was it, New York, I guess, to play for the Jets?
Mm-hmm.
So, that's kind of just what it is.
That you hit on Derrick Henry and everything, the running back market. I got to ask this about Big Jeff because we know who he is, but like Derrick Henry, we're not hearing a lot about him. What is Big Jeff looking like out there? Is he just as dominant? Did he look like he took a step forward? Is he commanding and leading the defensive line as
it's
that
early,
voice? Yeah.
But I would describe it as a man possessed.
Hello.
Really?
Hello.
With no pads.
Hello.
He's just, the presence is there.
Yeah.
And it would have been that way whether he had the contract or not this offseason.
Right.
Agreed.
I mean, he is the literal, if you had an Urban Dictionary saying Tennessee Titan, his picture's right there. Kevin Byard's picture right there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not settling for what he's been doing so far. It's always about improvement. It's always about doing better. It's always about getting better. And I think there's a part of that, to go back to your question a few minutes ago about, does any of that carry from the offseason last year and the way it ended with 7 straight losses? Maybe at the inside competitor, they've moved on from that.
Right.
But he wants to do much better than that. And he knows he's much better than that. And the big thing is he had his ankle surgically repaired and he's ready to roll now.
Yeah.
So offensive lineman near you in a town near you, look out. 98's coming and he's bringing hell with him. And there's all wearing two-tone blue. I mean, Tier Tart and Arden Key and, Harold Landry and Rashad Weaver, all the guys we've been talking about. He just is amping it up more and more as we go. And that's what I like about the things I'm seeing so far. And again, it's early. It's so early in this. But the tempo and the temperament and all of those things are right so far.
See, that's my thing. Like, regardless of pads on or pads off, you see mentality. You see leadership. And that's what I want to know. Like, that right there goes a long way with me.
And Arden Key, like I said, he likes to talk and he's chirping and he's having a good time.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
So, and Aziz Al-Shire. So, you can see there's things that they're disappointed in from what happened and they all want to improve. And look, again, hope springs eternal. Everybody's 0-0 right now, right?
Yep.
I need 98 is coming and he's bringing hell with him on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's wearing and Hale's wearing two-tone blue.
Yeah.
Like
Except on 2 weeks when they were the Oilers throwback, which Falcons, weird choice there.
But you know what? It's weird, and I did not have this on authority whatsoever, but I saw when the Falcons were putting out our red helmets and throwback jerseys from the 70s, I'm like, I bet that's the other game.
Oh, that will be cool. The William Andrews team.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's the red helmet and the old, but I'm like,
Bartkowski.
It makes it, right, Steve Bartkowski. It makes sense because geographically, right down the road from each other.
Yep.
The Arthur Smith storyline, it's the first time he's coming back to Middle Tennessee as the head coach of the Falcons. You just keep going through the list of things. You have, Desmond Ritter and the other guys that are competing at quarterback. Bijan Robinson, the rookie from Texas, who was wowing people already.
Yep.
So, I mean, it could be a great matchup. But when I saw that, I'm like, you know what? I bet that is the other one because you had to figure one of those Houston games. And so if they're not going to do it on the road, it had to be here.
We just thought maybe the home opener with a former AFL team and gives you a chance to sell more jerseys and all those things. But, I mean, you bring up good points, and that will aesthetically look good on the field.
Mm-hmm. Did you see the column that John McClain put out? He did a column with a lot of the old Oilers once that they made it official that they were playing the Texans. And from Warren Moon to Dr. Doom, Robert Brazil, he said, me and my wife are coming December 17th, and he said, I'll be wearing my Oilers jersey. I mean, these guys are fired up about this. Now, a lot of that has to do with the great work that Amy Adams Strunk and the family and the organization has done in bridging together both of those eras of the franchise by doing a homecoming alumni weekend kind of thing with both Titans former players and Oilers and those things, and showing them literally love you blue, right?
Yeah. Love that, man.
Rhett Bryan,
Get it
at
on,
Rhett B
baby.
Tennessee
That's
on
me.
Twitter.
Get it on.
Good stuff, man.
Thank you, Gordon.
Always a pleasure to be with you all. Happy Friday.
This well-produced show. I was walking in here at 2:55. Said, "Hey, Rhett, you want to come in 3:20?" Sure.
I'm in. Let's
On
go.
deck. That's right.
I'm always up to talk ball. Come on.
Love it. Some
Especially right
NFL
now.
headlines. You mentioned some injuries. Jalen Ramsey, Joe Burrow. What's the latest on them? We'll tell you next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Evan, stay there. We'll get you Arden Key talk as well. We'll be right back.
What's happening, people? Ron Slay here. Chimney. That is the company that you need to dive into. When you're talking about over 63 years of experience, you can count that. Yes, count it up, man. Honest, dependable, and affordable. They specialize in all aspects of fireplace and chimney services, from inspections and estimates to full rebuilds and repairs. Not only chimneys, though. They don't stop there. Dry vent service, dry vent repairs, outdoor kitchens, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits. The list goes on and on. You want to get some masonry work done? Call on them. I guarantee they get it done. Custom stainless copper chimney caps as well. Now, the number, 615-364-8987. 615-364-8987. Got to get involved in this early. Get scheduled now to take advantage of the hot summer special, because in the in-season pricing is coming. It's right around the corner, and you don't want to get caught in that. If you require a chimney cap installation or waterproofing, they will be insured to get your chimney completed and taken care of. Hit up Chimney.
Good afternoon from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Joe Hong. Derrick Henry met with the media earlier today and was asked about his current contract situation. And here is what the King had to say.
Yeah, I can't worry about that. I got to take it one day at a time and trust in my training and trust in what I've been doing and go out there and be me and let everything take care of itself. You know, I pray. And then let everything else happen the way it's supposed to. Everything happens for a reason. But just take it one day at a time. Continue to want to improve and get better every day. And then let the chips fall where they may.
And just before that, matter of fact, the Titans made a move to sign a brand new offensive lineman. Not the one that everybody thought is actually Chris Hubbard, the former Cleveland Brown, who played 41 games as starts at the right tackle position. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, as well as home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Three HL 104.5 The Zone Friday edition, which means what, Slay Dog?
That means get Friday.
Hey, I'm in the building.
Oh,
Best believe I'm in the building. Better be ready. I'm in the building.
Big Slay got a
Time for the show.
I'm surprised we don't have a Friday sponsor.
I know.
Believe I'm in the
Should, hey, the show is begging for one.
Milagro, where you at?
Ooh, that's a good pool. Tequila.
I ain't got no roof.
What's wrong with you, Babsy?
So damn cold in this
Oh,
studio.
my Lord, have mercy. Here we go.
I mean, it's
You're
like
going to get all the people that are hot outside coming
5
at you.
million degrees outside and about 20 in here. Like, no wonder Hunk's sick.
Try telling you.
Well, that's because you've had all that sun on your skin for so long. And
I
now,
know.
Like,
And now it's like goosebumps popping through my tan.
I love it.
I hate it. Like, put me out at camp where it's 100 degrees. I'd rather be in that.
well, that's where the guys are. Babsy is here after a little time off. She's back.
Assignment.
That's bunk.
It is bunk. Bunk to
Twitch,
come
please.
back to work after a
Twitch, please.
fun assignment,
Twitch,
right?
please.
No, I'm glad to be back, though. I missed y'all.
We missed you, Babsy.
Y'all.
Y'all. Good country.
3HL presented by our great friends
You
at
all.
Spring Hill Heating and Cooling. Speaking of,
Speaking of keeping it cold.
SpringHillAC.com is how you get in touch with them. Happy birthday to Will Bowling.
Oh,
Yeah, Will Lee.
young bowling.
This is an old man now.
How old is he?
26, I think.
26.
Lord. I remember when I was 26.
I don't. What was I doing?
I don't know. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
You were playing.
I was there. Oh, boy.
You were balling.
I was getting down. I was still catching lobs then. 26. I think I led the league in dunks.
I think I can throw you a lob right now.
Yeah, I'm probably go over my head because I'm going to watch it.
Because I'm not going to try and do anything with it.
Nah. Once I get this hip
I'm
taken care of,
smart.
I'm ready then. Nah, but nah, not right now.
He's going to watch it and go over
Yeah,
your head.
ooh, good pass, y'all. Whoever that was going to.
That would have been good.
That wasn't to me. This is a younger me.
Dolphins cornerback Jalen Ramsey carted off with a left knee injury yesterday. The news was positive, I guess, considering what it could have been.
Yeah.
He'll have meniscus surgery, which you talked about yesterday. We'll get to that.
told him.
He'll miss a couple of months. Schefter said he could miss a few months, which puts him back at the end of October, so maybe 6 to 8 games, which isn't ideal or great or any of those things. But it could have been an ACL, when he went down. We were all nervous, but you had a meniscus injury.
Yeah. I think they did that just for caution. Put that long, what did he say? 4
Window?
Yeah. What did he say? 6 games?
Well, they said Schefter said it could miss a few months, which
He's out
a few
till
months.
Yeah, that's
So August, September, October.
that's false.
That's 6 to 8 games, depending on when. In October.
Meniscus, man, you bounce back 4 to 6 weeks. And this is with it being repaired or whatever you got to do.
Ian
Repaired
Rappaport
or
said that his surgery was successful and that he'll be out till December.
Oh, December. Okay.
Well,
that's more
'cause-
than just meniscus then.
I remember, I had read it was
Shrapnel.
what they decided to do with it, right?
Oh, maybe
Remove
that's what-
it or trim it or
Yeah.
whatever. It
Roast.
determines,
Gross. I know
how
you love that
come
stuff,
back.
but man,
What? Medical stuff?
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed.
You would like to watch the surgery, wouldn't you? Like if they put that on,
100%.
like shaving someone's meniscus.
Oh, it's all fascinating to me. I couldn't handle organic chemistry.
I know.
so
She was in pre-med for one class. Organic
I
chemistry.
shadowed,
That was it.
like I interned, shadowed the overnight hours in the Opelika emergency room.
Opelika.
Opelika,
Overnight? That ain't
yes.
nothing
Oh,
Man.
it's nothing but trauma.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved
Gun
every second
shots
of it.
and-
Yes,
straight on
there
that.
was lots of gunshot victims that came in. But yeah,
And
it's
you-
fascinating, man.
You're straight
Saving
up.
lives, fascinating. I
No,
wish
that's-
I wish I could do it.
That's fascinating. But
Yeah.
the what? Yeah.
Yeah, see, blood doesn't bother me. I like the gruesome stuff. Yeah.
I know. She's over here every once in a while trying to show us Dr. Pimple Popper,
Yeah, I would
like
not watch
during
that.
breaks.
That's
I mean, that stuff is
disgusting.
when I can't sleep at night. You remember
That's a horror. That's a horror movie.
I'm
Like,
hitting the desk again.
you might as well put a horror movie on. When you can't sleep, you start looking at Pimple Popper.
Yeah.
Let me
And
let me
like,
watch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Like gross anatomy stuff, yeah. That eases my mind.
That's amazing.
615-737-1045. Also out there, Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow went down with a calf strain. Burrow had been wearing a sleeve on the calf before that injury.
Yeah. It looked when I first saw the video, I was like, oh gosh, Achilles. Oh no, that doesn't look good. But then you saw the calf brace on there, and figure maybe it might be something there.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a tweet from Just Saying at Brent Doherty on Twitter. I'm hopeful on Key too, Arden Key. Your listeners might enjoy your segment with Mike Detillier where he gushes about Key. I think we should get Mike Detillier on to talk about Arden Key.
Let's do it.
Oh, cool. Mm-hmm.
That's right. He loved Arden Key. Are you texting him now?
Yes.
You know,
Good radio.
yeah, it is. Well,
Hey, there's two of y'all.
Arden Key.
Hey, y'all take care of it.
Yeah, I
Good.
got it. I like Arden Key. I like what he brings. I think all of them are going to be able to play off each other. My question, though, after hearing Gordy on talk, he talked about a lot of positions. We talked a lot of positions. We've yet, outside of Aziz, talked about the linebacker core. That's going to be interesting. The middle. Let me say the middle
Like
linebackers.
because it's different.
Yep.
I mean, Monty Rice. Like,
Yeah.
are we
Right.
great
And
with
what's
him?
your
Yeah.
depth there?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's questionable, right?
Yep.
I
So,
feel good about what I've heard about
everything
Aziz
around it.
Alshire. And Monty Rice showed up, when he needed to last year,
Yep.
but like as a first string
different.
middle
It's
linebacker.
different. First string, anything is different. Okay, what it is. It's all different. So,
I mean, you went from 6th man of the year to
Yeah.
starting.
Yeah,
That is
it's
a
different.
different thing.
it is. Your responsibility is totally different. Like, you got to know so much more. And if that's what we're worried about defensively, and then I guess offensively, we're right back where we started before the draft, talking about the offensive line. I'm gonna keep my powder dry because I want to see them in pads. I just hope that it's some nastiness when the pads come on. When the pads come on and they get to roughing each other up a little bit. I hope it's some nastiness that comes out that we can't see without the pads.
By the way, I did just text Mike Detillier, so thank you, Just Saying. That's a great idea to have Mike Detillier on, who is down there in the bayou and does the M&D
knew
draft
Arden
report
Key.
forever. Knew Arden Key when he was in high school, all
A
these
long
things.
time, yeah.
So I texted, can you hop on and talk about Arden Key for a few? He goes, right now, yes. I go,
Right now?
I said, how about 5 p.m.? And he goes, that's fine.
Darn,
There you
that
go.
is real. Detillier, I like that. Just jump on. Put the gumbo on hold. Let it simmer.
He might have gumbo with him.
That sound good. Sound
Him
good.
and Bobby Boucher and
Coach O.
Coach O.
Got to put Coach O in there.
Down here on the bayou.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get Mike Detillier's take on Arden Key at 5 o'clock. Mark Mariani, Moonshine, coming up next. First, let's get Evan in Nashville on 3HL. Evan, what's up?
Hey, everyone. Hope y'all are doing well.
What up?
Yeah, so Arden Key's career and not upon him has confused me over the last two off seasons because he had
Yep.
that great that a great season in San Francisco, great season last year in Jacksonville, and figured he would have commanded a lot more attention. I think the Titans have an absolute steal. What the key thing, and no pun intended, with him is you can line him up all over the formation. The dude played an average of 38% of snaps over the last 2 seasons and still came away with 11 sacks. And that's because of his versatility. He can even line up at 3 tech. So whenever the Titans are in base with what you all were talking about earlier with Tier, with Big Jeff, and with Danico,
Yep.
you can still even plug in, Danico, or not Danico, but Arden, just all over the information, or all over the formation, and then especially on passing downs, lining him up on the inside against a center or a guard. I mean, you're talking about mismatch all day. So he's going to be an absolute puzzle piece, and, I can't wait to see what Vrabel does with him.
Evan, I'm totally with you because he can put his hand on the ground. He can stand up. He can do all those things. And that's a great stat that you bring. What did you say, 38% of the snaps and 11 sacks in the last two seasons?
Yeah, so he had 6.5 with the 49ers a couple years ago, 4.5 with Jacksonville, and he did. And the key thing,
3
again,
starts.
No pun intended, but he was in all 34 games. So, yeah, and 35% snaps in San Francisco, 41% with the Jags, and then I think he only had 1 start. So that just goes to show he's that absolute chess piece, because there's a reason that kickers never start a game, because starting only means you're on the field for this first snap on either side of the ball. So, yeah, that just absolutely adds to the absolute puzzle piece that he has.
Love it, Evan. Appreciate you, man. I'm telling you.
Let me
Feeding right into my Arden Key stuff.
and that's cool. I'm with it all, but we was some people on the F&M Bank chat saying that that spot really won't matter as much because you got Big Jeff and T.R. Todd and them up front keeping them clean. It's a big difference.
It's a difference.
That is, but it's a big difference also when you got a guy right there and that doesn't play their position really well. It was different when David Long Jr. was out last year. It wasn't no scraping east to west. It was glaring.
Yeah,
it was glaring. So just saying, that's cool, but that spot that's an important spot, man.
I get you. Mark Mariani coming up. What do you got?
Oh, I was just going to say, if you want to talk about maybe a questionable part of the defense, that's
all I'm saying.
That's where you are.
Mark Mariani next. 3HL 1045 The Zone. Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits. That's where you need to go to get stocked up for the weekend. My guy Jason and his crew ready to help you out. If you want to pop in, pop out, you know what you want to get. You can certainly do that there. Parking is easy over there at Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits, 101 Creekside Crossing in Brentwood by the Publix, MarylandFarmsWS.com. But if you want some advice on how to stock your bourbon selection, for example, they'll be able to help you out. You tell them what you like. They will give you other options that are similar, or maybe you don't know anything about bourbon. They'll be able to help you out there as well. Craft beer, wine, tequila, vodka, they got it all. Great selection. Cigars as well. I don't know that much about cigars. So when I go in there, I ask for help, and they are gladly able to do that for me, and they will be for you as well. Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits, 101 Creekside Crossing in Brentwood by the Publix. Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. They are closed on Sunday. Delivery through the Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits app and curbside pickup as well. Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits, locally owned, has been serving Brentwood for more than 17 years. And you can check them out if you're looking for the perfect gift for a housewarming, birthday, just a thank you. Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits has customized baskets for you to grab and go with wines, spirits, local olives, chocolates. Perfect gift for that cocktail lover. Wednesdays are senior days, so go in for special discounts every day. They honor the military discount, case discounts every day as well. MarylandFarmsWS.com, 101 Creekside Crossing in Brentwood by the Publix, Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits. 3HL 1045 The Zone, Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay, and look who we have here. Moonshine.
Let's go!
There he is. There he is.
Yo, I know you love it.
What have you been doing? You've been on a vacation assignment for, I don't know, 6 months here? We haven't heard from you in a while.
They don't, I mean, the listeners barely like to hear what I have to say about football, let alone during the off season. So the fact that I'm on the air must mean it's football time. Let's go. I think we're couple weeks out from real games and got less than 12 hours before we put pads on and start hearing that thud. It is go time.
Yeah, so August 12th, which is 2 weeks from tomorrow, is the first preseason game. Think about that.
Right here.
I can't fathom that. It's crazy. It went so fast, but yet, I think they do an insane job, as you guys very well know, of having some kind of event for us to tease and think about and mull over the whole off season. So it feels like it never ended, and now we're back and out here grinding again. At least it's nice and cool out there for the boys.
Oh,
so
yeah, no question.
It's
like Montana cool out there.
Oh, my God. It is so nasty, but it's the best time of year, man. Football time.
Former Titans Pro Bowler Mark Mariani talking about training camp.
Talking about practice?
Talking about practice. Yeah. What do you think about the Oilers throwbacks, Mark? They wore a version of throwbacks in the Hall of Fame game where was it Trapasso ran the fake punt?
You know what? I wasn't there. I thought they wore them in like 08 or 09.
Yeah,
09.
At one point, because I saw all the old highlights of that. And
you were in Chicago at that point?
No, this is before I even got there.
Oh, that was before you got here. All right.
Oh, would they wear them when I was in Chicago?
No. You're right.
Yeah, it's been a minute, and so I was always itching and so ready to put on those blues. What do they call it? Columbia Blues or whatever. I mean, I was so ready, and I never got the chance, and it bummed me out so bad. I mean, I'm glad they're back. I might have to go pick up a couple jerseys in the pro shop, but, I mean, they look so damn good. I mean, they look better than I could even imagine, but I have so much FOMO that my squads, my years, we never got to wear them, man. So they got to put them on right before I got here, and then obviously they're bringing them back. And of course, one of the games against the Texans, I wonder if that was just by chance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Definitely by chance. Yeah.
So
they're going to be so beautiful.
What do you remember about training camp? Were you like amped up and ready to go? Were you like, oh crap, it's hot and all this stuff? Like, what was your thought about training camp?
Well, it was always so hot. I mean, it's funny. Somebody asked me yesterday, well, do the Titans have an indoor bubble for practice? And I'm like, yeah, they do. But I was like, nobody ever uses it, man. We are out there grinding in the heat. This is not the time of year. That thing is going to be echoing still to the till it gets cold out. But man, I'll tell you what. For a guy like me, I was always me grinding and trying to earn a spot. This is the best time of year, man. This is OTAs and mini camps is always the appetizer, and this is the fine dining, man. This is what you live for, and I think. I as soon as training camp hits and they start reporting on it and seeing it, that's when I really start missing strapping up, man. I really start putting the helmet on. This is the time of the year where you limit the distractions, you go grind, you live in the same hotel or wherever on site with your boys, that you're away from your family and you're all day, every day. And sure, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. But to me, that's when iron sharpens iron. You're out there competing and dudes are sweating and getting after it, and that's when you bond. And some guys are out there trying to earn a living, trying to earn a spot and get their spot solidified, and other guys are getting their bodies tuned up, ready to go, and it's just game time, man. Everything gets a little more serious. But man, when those pads start thumping, there's nothing like that competition, man. And you already saw a few fights going and all that stuff in New York or whatever, but it's that competitive juice. It's like your brother. You're competing against your brother for a month, and it's just grueling and nasty. And God, I'm fired up. I miss it so much. So this is the best time of year, if you ask me.
How different was your first? Because we talk about Burks and how far he's come, and then we talk about some of the rookies coming in. How different was your rookie training camp compared to your second training camp?
Oh, I think it's night and day, and I expect him and Roger McCreary and some of those other second-year guys to make big jumps, even though they got thrown in the fire and had to contribute so much last year.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, as a rookie, your first time, even if you're from a big program, which obviously I wasn't, shout out Montana Grizzlies, but it was like, even if you did come from one of those big programs, you come into the NFL where it's a job where you got professionals just mastering their craft left and right, and it's all about inches and technique and detail, and throw in a new offense and all the speed and everything. Your head is just swiveling. You are just, you're almost underwater trying not to drown a little bit, and then all of a sudden opening kickoff and the season's going and you're still trying to figure it out. So as a rookie, you're going through all those emotions and excitement. As a second-year guy, you've had a full season under your belt. You know what to expect. You know the defense and the offense and everything slows down a little bit. And you start grinding. Now you're working on those details. You're working on those little things. You're working on that tiny bit. As a receiver, you're that tiny bit of separation in little ways. And so I think those guys are going to make huge jumps. And I know we're all excited. And just me personally on the offensive side, I can't wait to see what Traylon does this year and how much physically better and mentally better he's going to be, and it's going to be exciting in year two.
What's your thoughts, Moonshine, on a guy like DeAndre Hopkins coming here? The batter Titan syndrome kick in, and you start thinking about, man, what about Julio? We did this already. Or do you see DeAndre Hopkins as being that guy and stepping in and having a hell of an impact?
Man, I'll be honest. I was one of the first guys to jump on the Julio bandwagon, so I'm a little bit hypocritical here, but I love this signing, man. I love D-Hop. He has always been an extreme competitor. He's nasty. Once he gets behind his face mask, dude, he is coming at you, and he has torn us up year after year after year. Mm-hmm. And I just think he's got juice left in the tank, man. To play 9 games last year, I think it was.
Yeah. And
to put up the numbers that he did. Here's the thing, and this we're gonna have to go through a little bit of this at right tackle, even when Nicholas Petit-Frere comes back. Oh. Is it takes a couple games, man. Yeah. So D-Hop was out 6 games last year, and then he even got thrown in the fire and starts getting targeted nonstop. It takes a couple games, so you got to even water that down a little bit. But his numbers for those games were off the charts, man. I don't know. I'm shocked there wasn't more of a market for him. I've always thought he was an absolute dog. And I think having him on this particular roster really settles things down. It lets Traylon get a little attention off of him and play like a little bit of Batman Robin role. It lets, if we're doing the NWI deal still, I think he gets to be a Swiss Army knife and insurance man. He doesn't have to be a 50 snap a game guy. Yeah. That's not really his wheelhouse. It lets Kyle Phillips and some of the other pieces play their role, but having that number one guy that's going to command that number one corner and command all that attention from the defense, it gets everybody else back into their natural playing positions. And a year two, first round receiver who has got a lot of potential and a lot of, we expect him to do big things. I think Traylon is going to benefit the most from having a guy like D-Hop on the other side for the majority of the snaps. So I think that was absolutely massive. As much as we all sat there after the draft and talked about Ran and not getting a receiver and all that stuff, for him to patch that hole and plug that dam with an absolute beast who's hungry and wants to, has get a little gas left in the tank, man, I couldn't be more excited.
Yeah. Mark Mariani with us on 3HL, former Titan Pro Bowler. Mark, a lot's been said today about Arden Key had 7 sacks, okay? Which is a lot, obviously. But, having covered football for so long, all of us understand, the defense is ahead of the offense, right? Typically speaking early. That's a true thing, correct?
Oh, my gosh, dude. I was listening to your guys' show. I wasn't listening earlier on and all that stuff. If that's the case, the defense, let me just get square this out for the offense.
Oh,
The
here we
defense is always making plays the first week of training camp. And you know what? The worst part about these defensive guys is they're always running their mouth, man. It is like nonstop. They're always talking. And it's just the nature of the beast, dude. Offense takes timing and rhythm. It takes everyone being on the same page. Defensive guys just get to strap it up and fly around. And don't get me wrong, they're freaks and you know, they're world-class athletes. You know, I think the wide receivers, you know, DB situation. We don't have to. I digress. We don't have enough time. But but for sure, the first few days, the defense always has the upper hand because they're just playing fast. Offensive guys are still trying to get that timing and get on the same page. So I didn't see that Arden had 7 sacks. I'm excited for his potential. You know, no doubt getting back a Pro Bowler on the other side, Harold Landry. I think our defense could be nasty, but it's going to take the offense a little time to gel. I know Slay was talking about it on the lead-in, and I'm in the same boat, but it doesn't matter what happens. That offensive line has to gel for us to get anywhere on offense this year, and there's so many question marks. But when I rattle through our top 22, at least sitting here today, it gets me really fired up, and it's all about that offensive line. So I expect when the pads come on, a couple more days of training camp, let the offense – and you got to remember this too. The install goes in phases, and it starts off slow. I'm talking about offensive install, what you're installing on day 1, day 2, day 3, and then you build on that. So the offense probably installed the most basic stuff, getting reps at the most basic stuff. And
with
then
a brand new coordinator.
Yeah.
Even though he was there.
And new terminology. Like they've simplified everything more. They say they've gone to like one word play calls, which I know as a wide receiver you would love that.
Well, here's the deal. I think and I'm gonna try to not beat this horse because I could every week. Good. Because I think the addition of Tim Kelly is gonna be so massiff for this offense. It's going to show how bad or how much we were struggling with Mr. Todd Downing last year.
Limited, not bad.
And I just, dude, I think that's another reason I think D-Hop is gonna excel here. Is that Tim Kelly has gotten him the ball before. He knows how to get him the ball. He knows his strengths. That's huge for a number 1 receiver. But also, our offense was like a steam-fed train engine last year. And as soon as it got going, tough to slow us down. But, dang, it took, hours to get that thing cranked up and moving down the tracks, man. And it was just all you hear all through OTAs, mini camps, and now at training camp, all you hear is about speed. And we're all here, all of those Monday morning armchair quarterbacks are out here talking about the Titans like, we need speed. And I'm one of them. But we need speed, and I'm thinking in my head, I want Tyreek Hill for speed. But I had to take kind of a step back and go, well, hey, hold on a second. Maybe we just need speed. It's going to be helpful to get speed in other places. Tempo and in and out of the huddle and getting on the ball, making the call, being on the same page. Like that kind of speed is going to show dividends. And, man, I think Tim Kelly is just going to have such a huge benefit. And so – I don't want to keep beating it down, but no one's bringing up Isaiah Wilson right now. Okay, it's not that bad, but
Dennis Daly either.
But I think,
although Isaiah Wilson managed to get suspended, even though he's not on a team right now,
which is just shocking. I mean, it is like there's no words. Webster doesn't make words to describe how bad that is. But listen, our offense has been pretty stagnant the last 2 years, and I keep liking to remind people we're a season away from being the number 1 seed in the AFC playoffs. Okay, we have good players on this football team, and we have a damn good coach who gets those guys fired up. Our defense is going to be as nasty as ever. Azeez Al-Shaair has been playing on the best defense in the league. He hasn't been able to show his stuff, and he is going to lead the team. I mean, I am so excited about that pickup too, just because he didn't get his chance to shine because he has one of the most generational linebacker in front of him. And Fred Warner. So it's like you can't even judge that. I just think these guys are hungry, and we all know, sitting here from our positions too, that the Tennessee Titans, the team we know and love, doesn't do well as the front runners. We don't want to be the favorites, man. we like our backs against the wall. We like people not talking about us. We like people picking the Colts and picking the Jaguars and disrespecting us, because that's where we feed off of, and that's when we get hungry. That's the kind of organization we've always been. And so I like where we're at. I'm extremely optimistic about it. I'm cautious with the offensive line, but I think all those things considered, we made a lot of savvy moves in the offseason. We promoted Tim Kelly, which is going to help, and we've got a number one receiver who, honestly, guys, if you just break it down, if he plays to his potential, he's a top 5 receiver in the league, has been for the last 8 years. I mean, DeAndre Hopkins has been a top 5 guy for the last 8 years. Even last year, you can't have him on the field and not know where he's at. He's so good.
But he's old, Mark, and he doesn't practice, Mark.
Hey, yes, yeah, I know, yeah. Well, there's a lot of people hiding behind their keyboards talking about that, and I think he addressed that yesterday with Taylor Lewan, did he not?
Yeah,
Oh, my gosh, he pretty much massacred Lewan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dead.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Gone.
listen, I just think this guy is hungry. Last year, even though he still put up big numbers, I think last year's a throwaway year for me, because coming off after 6 games, you still have a little bit of, getting ready and shaking off the rust happening for 2 or 3 weeks, and then half the season's over and you're on a bad team and all that stuff. Man, I think this guy could be a game changer for us. It's going to help Traylon. It's certainly going to help Tutu, who will most definitely still be getting my MVP bet this year. I'm going to go down swinging, betting on Derrick Henry to be the league MVP, just so we're all very clear. I'm not.
What are you smoking, moonshine?
Hey, it's not even happy hour yet, and I'm telling you guys that I've been riding that train. I've been riding that
for
train
2 years.
2 years, and it's been painful down the stretch. And blood in the water. Got hit pretty hard when the Titans decided to go lose 7 in a row last year.
0-7, yeah.
But listen, I'm not getting off. We still have Tutu. He's still the main piece of this offense. He's going to like moving faster. He's going to like the attention elsewhere. All those things, if we can figure out the offensive line, man, being a Titans fan is exciting. I love getting doubted. Screw the Jags. The Jags, I'll never be a believer in the Jags, okay? So
you say it.
Have that cut. You can have that cut.
It's like
Jags,
the Jaguars.
Montana. I'll never be a believer in them. So pick them all you want, guys. Just because Calvin Ridley looks like a beast, I don't care, man. Our defense is going to be so nasty, and I like our backs against the wall. So I think there's big things to come.
There he is. He's Mark Mariani, former Titan All-Pro, at Mark Mariani 80. Good stuff, man.
Hey, you guys are the best, man. It's almost happy hour. Thanks for having me. We'll see you all very soon.
Drink some brown water for us. It's Friday.
See you guys.
See ya. Love that, dude.
What does he call him?
The Jags. The Jags.
Jaguars.
That's kind of weird, wasn't it?
I feel like it's on purpose. It's
Yeah,
like
it's no
I was gonna say,
disrespectful on
disrespect.
purpose.
No respect
Yes.
at all for him.
Yep.
Speaking of disrespect, Florida offensive lineman with some comments about Tennessee. That's next. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
What's happening, good people? Ron Slay here. Awaken180 weightloss.com that's the program that I was on. That's the journey that I'm living. That's what I'm walking. And now I have given you that part. You got to understand where I am in my journey. I'm in the maintenance part of my journey. And, now I'm just maintaining. That's what the maintenance is. It's starting to work things back into my food that I missed along this journey when I was losing my weight. And now with me being in range where I'm supposed to be, I am able to go and have not cheat days, but just days where I want to eat what I want to eat. And it's okay. How other people perceive you is a big thing in life. And more so than that, how you perceive yourself. And you're looking in the mirror, I was like, man, I got to get this thing off me, man. This belly ain't going to get it. So I reached out, 844-346-1800, awaken180weightloss.com. Got my consultation, got my coach Sam, and we've been riding this thing all the way out, man. And we're going to keep going because this is a lifestyle change, and that's what it is. You can do the same thing. Looks good on me. It'll look good on you, awaken180weightloss.com.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay flying through a Friday afternoon. It's hot out there, people.
By the way,
except Dawn's cold.
I'm freezing. It's 2 degrees in this studio.
So,
I mean, like 2 degrees.
I can warm you up. You want to know how?
That sounds weird, but okay.
Yeah, well, it won't.
It's not worse than what you just said a minute ago on the air, so it's okay.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, shoot. I have no sleep. I don't even know what I say. I haven't been to sleep.
It's okay.
It'll probably turn up in a promo. I don't remember what you said either, but
Oh, I'm sure I said
I
something.
went downstairs and I saw Hunter, who now has like a dish of chocolate chip cookies in his office. And I'm like,
For what?
What?
Like trying to pull people
to
in?
give to people. I don't know. I'm like, dude, chocolate chip cookies, it's like in a glass cookie dish where you can see them.
I'm going down there and getting one on the way out.
And I said,
dear.
Hunter, chocolate chip cookies? And he was like, yes, please take one. And I'm like, no, I'm trying to watch my girlish figure. And he said, no, I'm serious. Please take one. And I'm like, no.
I'm going down the next break.
Yep.
He's got them.
I'm going to get them.
Hunter's the last guy working in this building every day.
Yeah.
You know it?
He is, yep.
So if y'all know Hunter, say what's up. Also, then I saw Chloe, who works downstairs. You call her Chloe, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's moving this weekend. I was like, you're moving again? Like, And she's like, yeah, a year goes by quickly. I'm like, that was a year ago? You know how, like,
Where's she moving?
I don't know. But, like, my point
out of the
is.
city?
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah, she's staying here.
Okay.
No, but my point was, like, the older you get, time flies faster, right?
Yes.
So that was tough. And then I ran into Dave Elliott,
What Dave down there doing?
sales manager of 104.5 The Zone. If you would like to talk with him about helping us help you grow your business, Dave Elliott's your guy.
Good job.
Call Hunk, and we'll get you his number at 737-1045. We'll get you his number. I've worked with Dave so long. In fact, I used to sell radio for him.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that was a long time ago too. But no, he's a good dude, and we always play with him in the golf tournament, which rankles Hunk. And by the way, Slay,
Yeah.
golf tournament coming up at Old Natchez.
August
When is
7th?
that? August 6th.
It's no,
7th.
6th would be the Sunday. 7th is that Monday.
August 7th.
Monday.
Like I said, August 7th. Me, you, Dave Elliott, and Barry.
Oh, yeah. We left Hard out.
No, Harder's. I already talked about Harder being the 5th, and that me and you would alternate shots.
Good job.
Oh.
We on.
I
And then-
told him he was out.
Well, no, he's not out. And then Hunt could be the 6-pack.
No, really, I'm like the 12th because now somebody else just hopped in front of me named Barry. I mean, it was just like,
Well, no,
Barry's always
Barry's-
been in.
Yeah, Barry,
Okay, do you
yeah.
understand?
That's the big
wait,
boss's
Barry is.
husband.
Who's Barry? Do you understand who
No,
Barry is?
Let's, yeah.
That's the big boss's
That's cool.
hubs.
You guys just play. I'm good.
The big boss's hubs.
Yeah.
Did
Like,
you hear her?
ain't going ahead of him anyway.
Again, y'all,
You're going ahead of me before you're going ahead of him.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I went to see Dave Elliott, and guess what he did on a Friday?
What? That's right.
He was like, I'm going to toss you something. Get ready to catch it. And so I put my hands out, not knowing if it was going to be a baby or like a stapler or like
A nail.
old fire.
Oh, hey, guess what? Pretty good. I
What
got
is
one.
it?
It's
Oil fire.
it's
What the heck is oil fire?
it's whiskey liqueur. But it's
Throw me that.
the tagline is you'll like it, she'll love it.
Whoa.
Really?
Whoa.
What's that guy?
It looks like honey.
Sheesh, I can't even think of
It does
his
look
name.
like honey.
Oh, what the taste? I'm
Whoa,
gonna be honest.
whoa,
I don't
whoa,
even
whoa.
like sweet stuff. It's amazing.
It says America's first seductive
I'm trying to-
handcrafted spirit.
tell you.
What?
Russ.
I'm
Seductive.
gonna throw this back.
I'm telling you, it's
Yeah, Russell had it.
I was skeptical.
Russell in sales.
I was skeptical,
Had
and
Okay.
Seductive whiskey?
it's pretty good.
I mean,
Who are you? Are you seducing yourself? Your
It's like
taste buds?
it's. I just told you, you'll like it. She'll love it. It's for her. Like
Oh.
and this is like
so
a
is
morning.
it kind of like I felt like Jack Daniel's honey was kind of made for a female audience.
Well, the guys love it.
Oh, really?
I'll drink it straight out the bottle. But this,
Yeah, because you will.
I will. But this right here, you can have this like in the morning.
Okay. Hold
No,
on.
not like.
Hold on.
Not like.
Okay.
Not like let's get fried in the morning.
Listen.
But if you need it, like
What, you like put it on your pancakes or something?
I really don't know what I mean, but it really it's like you put a little bit in your coffee. Yeah.
I
A
promise
little creamer or something.
we're not that bad.
We're not that bad.
Are you sure?
That didn't come out right. I was trying
Beth
to.
comes back first time in a week, and her line is, "I promise we're not that bad."
I don't know what to say to
a
make any of this
disclosure.
better at this point. I'm out of practice.
So the Gators are hosting Tennessee on September 16th at 6 o'clock Central in the Swamp. Florida Gator offensive lineman Kingsley Agakun is eager to play the Tennessee Vols again after dropping last season's matchup. He said, quote, "We're going to be fired up for that one. We're fired up every game, but we'll be fired up for Tennessee. That's a conference game, SEC. It's a battle. If you want to get to the championship, you got to go through Tennessee to do that." I think everybody's fired up in general for the season and the opportunity to kind of go out there and prove all these naysayers wrong. Tennessee means a lot. Any SEC game means a lot, but that one, definitely we got that one.
You go back 3 years ago.
We got that one.
Yeah,
he said.
He maybe had some oil fire. Before
No,
that.
he's saying we got that one like we got it circled. It's that.
Oh, okay.
it's-
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think he's saying we got that one. We're going to win. Get out the way.
He's a fool.
You're just stirring the
I
pot.
feel him, though.
hell yeah, I
I
am.
feel him.
Just
I feel him, and that's good because guess what Joe Milton said? We don't lose. I don't lose in Florida.
Who do Tennessee
did say
fans
that.
hate the most?
Okay.
It varies in age
There we
group.
go. That's what it is.
No, okay.
It's a generational
I'm
thing.
curious.
Old
Yeah.
Tennessee guy hates
Yeah.
Alabama.
Yep.
Younger Tennessee guy
I can't
hates
say
Florida.
Florida. Forget Florida.
And
Florida
maybe
is your-
maybe now
Oh,
you're
they
starting to
know.
develop a little Georgia in there.
I always feel like I've never had a problem with Georgia. I kind of like own Georgia.
I get it. I'm just saying, like, I wonder, like, if like the younger crew now.
I don't know. That's a good question. We have to get some young because I want to know. I've never
do you
looked
hate
at
the
Georgia
most?
like at
Yeah.
Georgia's like look at Georgia.
Also, coming up in the 5 o'clock hour,
All
you
that
will
time.
hear from Derrick Henry, the king. You'll also hear
Okay.
from Harold Landry, who apparently looks really good out there.
ACL is damn near perfect.
Damn near
Hello.
perfect. So are we. We'll be right back. 3HL 104.5.
What's happening, people? Ron Slay here, man, and I've got a solution for you. All that little inflammation and your body hurting, and you want to get back out there and compete, and you can't do it. I got a trick for you. Really not a trick. It's been here the whole time. It's in your body, people. Holistic stem cell therapy, man. You got to get involved in this. The body's own healing cells. They're yours. Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. I went down and sat down with Dr. Kellum today. First and foremost, KellumStemCellInstitute.com, KELLUM StemCellInstitute.com is where you would go. I had a conversation with him today, and man, I didn't want to stop talking to him because I'm amazed at everything that goes into this of healing your body with your own cells. Like you hear all the media and people just talking about what's confusing and things on the internet. Don't let that deter you, man. Dive into this, and I guarantee you want to get back active. You want to get out there and play a little pickleball, want to go play some kickball with the kids at the center. Don't worry about it. Your body is going to be functioning. I'm going to be back. I'm going to get this hip taken care of, and I'm going to let you know how it goes, man. You get involved, 615-850-4415, KellumStemCellInstitute.com.
Good evening from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Joe Hunk. Earlier today, before the Titans hit the practice field, they signed a brand new offensive lineman. Chris Hubbard is now a Tennessee Titan. In fact, he was out at practice earlier today. He has started 48 games so far in his NFL career, with 41 of those at right tackle. Why did the Titans sign Chris Hubbard? Well, that's because George Fant is now a Houston Texan. That one becoming official just a little while ago. And Nashville native Jalen Ramsey had successful surgery on his meniscus, and he is expected to return in December for the Miami Dolphins. For all your foundation repair waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, as well as home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone. What up, Nashville? Brett Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. It is Friday.
Happy Friday, people.
Get Friday.
I'm getting a lot of crap about coming back from vacation on a Friday.
Why would
It's
you not?
brilliant.
Why?
Because
It's
then
brilliant.
you have one day and it's like you can kind of skate through it. Not
Yep.
that I'm skating through it today. I'm just saying.
Her name is Babsy Davenport. She would never skate through it.
That's bunk.
That's bunk.
That's bunk.
And then I got 2 more days to recover.
Twitch, please.
I mean, and this one doesn't really even count. I mean, we're just flying through this Friday edition. Ron Slay is here.
I'm in the building. I'm in the building.
Hey, I'm in the building. 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 I'm in the building.
So, Arden Key with 7 sacks today at training camp with no pads on. Just a drive-by by the quarterback where you just, tap him on the butt or something. Just saying on Twitter, at Brett Doherty, I'm hopeful on Key, too, because that's my guy. Like, I'm all in on Arden Key transforming this
And
defense.
you have been.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they're going to move him around, and he's pissed off and all these things, and he's running his mouth to his defensive teammates. He's running his mouth to the offense, and he's pissed off about Jacksonville letting him go and all these things. I love it. Just saying on Twitter, at Brett Doherty, I'm hopeful on Key, too. Your listeners might enjoy your segment with Mike Detillier where he gushes about Key. So then we texted Mike Detillier, and here he is. Mike Detillier joins us now on 3HL. What's up, Mike? How are you?
How y'all doing this afternoon?
Aw, love hearing
What's up,
your
Mike?
voice.
So, quick story. 27 years ago, I started my radio career. The first guest I booked on Sports Scene with Bob Bell and Bill King was Mike Detillier.
Wow.
That was a long time ago, Mike.
Yeah, I know. and I almost remember it.
I was just going to say, he's
Almost.
like, I don't remember that.
I said almost.
Yeah, you used to come on with those guys all the time, and now you're a fixture with 104.5 The Zone for sure. We're getting a lot of questions about Arden Key because he's making a lot of noise. He did it during the OTAs. He's done it so far in training camp. They haven't put pads on, but that's another guy, like, I can't wait to see him with pads on. He's pissed off about what happened in Jacksonville. I think it's a great fit here with the Tennessee Titans where they will move him around on that defense. What do you think about Arden Key as a player? And I guess let's just go back to what you remember about him coming out of high school and then at LSU.
He was one of the most highly recruited defensive ends, pass rushers in high school football at that time. And the guy who brought him here to LSU was that defensive line coach at that time, Ed Ogeron. And he was a Georgia kid. Ed was defensive line coach for Coach Miles. And he brought him in the first 2 seasons. Man, he was off the charts good at LSU. It really was. Sophomore year, I think he maybe had a dozen sacks. What I saw from him, he was never technically sound at LSU. He just beat everybody with his speed and his quickness. I mean, and it was like, oh, who's that guy that just passed me? But issues started to happen as a junior with him, some off the field issues, and he missed some time. And then he didn't play in the bowl game, which, man, that really set off the LSU coaches. They played Notre Dame in that ball game that year. Man,
Music City Bowl.
Yeah, that was here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Les Miles was still the coach. Yeah, and Brian Kelly. Yeah.
That wasn't a good situation.
No.
I know one thing. The defensive line coach at that time, Pete Jenkins, and that's been a few years back. He's still pissed off about it. I'm gonna be honest with you. He was like, man, listen, I don't need you for the whole game. I just need you for about 15, 20 plays. But he didn't play in the game, and then his stock sort of fell. Funny situation. I'm going to the Saints camp, and this is days before the draft, and I'm doing a stand-up for one of the CBS stations here, and who's sitting in the parking lot was Arden Key. And I was like, hey, dude, what you doing here? And he was like, oh, Mr. Mike, yeah, I come visit the Saints. It's my third visit here. And I know the way Sean Payton always thought, man, I got a guy, and he's going to fall a little bit. But if he falls to the right spot, I'll pick him. It didn't happen. And I thought early on in his career he struggled because he was not a technically sound guy. And he's a little light in the pants. So teams were running right at him. And he got much better. I think where he really tripped it was San Francisco. I thought that's where I saw the biggest improvement with him as a technician, as a pass rusher, as a guy that learned that swim over move and he could kick inside, moving left, moving right. And I thought he did a good job there. He was kind of their designated pass rusher, third down specialist. He went to Jacksonville, a somewhat similar situation there too. So, at this point of the game for him and for most teams, Superman's not coming out of the telephone booth. So you're looking for a guy that can help you situational football. And I think he can do that for the Titans. And again, the move him around left, right, have him standing up, coming off the edge.
Yep.
He is really good with that. And the one thing you'll notice, his closing speed to the quarterback is really good. He's got an exceptional takeoff, but his closing speed to the quarterback is very, very good. So, man, listen, if you can get 6 to 7 sacks out of him, man, that would be fantastic. It didn't cost you a ton of money,
right,
to bring him in, and so he's a chip piece, but he's developed into a pretty doggone good chip piece.
I know you use the word chip. I'm going to use it in a different context here, but it seems like he has a chip on his shoulder coming here. You know what I mean? Like, is he that kind of a guy?
He's been talking about being pissed off about how Jacksonville let him go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in all players, they sort of maybe were told something, and then management didn't come through. Now, maybe the coaches told you one thing, but the management part didn't quite come through with it. And I think that's what you're hearing from Martin here, that I think the players, coaches there in Jacksonville really liked him. Management maybe didn't see it that way from a financial standpoint.
Yeah.
And so that's why he's with the Titans today. But again, I think motivation for him, he's always, I know coming out of high school and then coming out of college, he was just physically and athletically so much better than most. But he had to work at his game. And I think if that's your motivation to get you to work better, then God bless you.
Yeah.
And it is a good point about him being focused and him being ready. I couldn't say he was that at LSU.
Yeah.
He was ready, but he wasn't always focused.
Yeah.
Mike, let me ask you this, man. Now, it's been some rumblings up this way, and mainly with me. The love that Jaden Daniels is getting, being in the Heisman contention this early, is it something that I'm not seeing? Because why am I not buying into exactly what they're giving me with Jaden Daniels as the quarterback for LSU?
Jaden Daniels not on that football team. LSU wins maybe 4 to 5 games last year. He was the difference. And not so much, and I get it where you're talking about, if you're just looking at certain games, but his running skills, his ability defensively if I'm scheming up against him, okay, let's cover, double cover Malik Neighbors, and let's maybe roll that coverage toward him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he takes off running, and you got troubles. Alabama thought they had him corralled too, until he took off and scored that touchdown. But I get where you're coming from. I thought he was a very good freshman quarterback. It sort of settled as a sophomore. Then he comes to LSU. Now, I'll never understand Miles Brennan, because you got to take care of yourself here.
Yeah.
Okay? Coaches, I hate to say it because I got them in my family, but they do. They lie. Nothing. They never tell you the truth. And, Miles had to understand, if you're bringing in Jaden Daniels, who had started all these games at Arizona State, he ain't coming here to hold no clipboard. No, he's coming here to start. But last year, new center and 2 freshman tackles playing for him.
Right.
And my thing is, man, early on it was, you know what? If that guy's not open my first read, I better take off running.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of time.
Right.
But I thought he got better as the season went along.
Okay.
As a passer. And I do think, having watched him progress in the spring, having been with him at Manning, he's physically bigger. Now, he's never going to be a real thick guy. Never. Right. That's just not part of his build as a player. But I think he's a much more confident downfield passer. He didn't have a lot of time to work with the receivers in the spring last year, but he has now. So, man, listen, for LSU, he's the most important piece of the puzzle.
Mm-hmm. It almost seemed – sorry,
if
Mike.
they're going to get back to the SEC championship game, it revolves around Jaden Daniels and his experience, his talent as a runner, and also his improvement as a downfield passer. And I think the coaches trusting on what he can do best. And I think sometimes with a new coaching staff, you don't necessarily have a good feel on what passes he throws well and what passes he doesn't. And I think they've got a much better grip on that today. So I think he's legitimate. Now, I wouldn't put a lot of money against Caleb Williams. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Caleb is really – he's something special as a football player. And we haven't seen this since Archie Griffin, back-to-back Heisman's, but I think he's got a legitimate shot, and they got some talent, man, offensively. Now, you can't play defense, which is the main problem at USC, but Jaden is legit. He's a legit guy. He's got a lot of experience. They have a lot of confidence in him. And, boy, that dual threat, that ability. I've never seen a quarterback with that type speed and running skills at LSU, ever.
Huh.
I'm in my 60s.
Yeah, you've been doing this a minute. As we illustrated at the beginning of this conversation, Mike Detillier with us down in Louisiana. Mike Detillier on Twitter. It almost seemed like the light came on with Jaden Daniels when Brian Kelly publicly said, this guy needs to throw college open, not high school open. You know what I mean? Like, he's got to put the ball in a position where his receiver can win 50-50 battles. And it almost seemed like that's when the light turned on. And that was right around that Tennessee game.
Well, right afterwards. He was the best player against Tennessee.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have known that by the statistics, but he was the best player. But, man, when your star receiver drops 22% of his passes, that's what Keyshawn Butte did last year.
Oh, geez. I didn't realize that.
DeAndre Hopkins dropped 1 in 95 attempts.
Yeah. And you could see Keyshawn was not the same player. Now, was it injury? Was it focus, attitude? I think it's a little bit of all three. Yeah. But he wasn't the same player. And all of a sudden, we see Malik Neighbors develop into this big-time player. And he had a freshman tight end in Mason Taylor. Now, Mason's got genetics now because that pop of his, I scouted him when he was coming out of college, and he became, a Pro Football Hall of Fame defensive end. So there was a lot of factors in there. The one thing with him is he had a lot of experience coming here. He accepted coaching, and sometimes, y'all, we've all been through it before in different – some guys don't like it, hard coaching. some. Not today.
Especially now, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, what? You told me I'm the man. Now you saying I'm screwing up? He took Brian Kelly's hard coaching, and I think they sort of redesigned some of the offense to fit what he does best. And if you look down the stretch, the Arkansas game, and that was pretty chilly, that game, but that wasn't made for him.
Yeah.
And then I thought Texas A&M played the best game of the season. I'm not taking that away. I'm not going to say LSU was looking ahead in that game, but I thought A&M played a great game against them, and that wasn't Daniels' best game. But, man, you look across the board, he saved their bacon time after time after time, and the players believe in him. You know, and I talked to a lot of them, and they all like, whoa, Jaden is the guy. And on defense, they all look at you when you bring up Perkins.
I was going to
like,
ask you about
what?
him because holy moly.
Different.
Since Tyrann Mathieu, I've done this a long time. I thought Tyrann was the best freshman I ever saw play at LSU until I saw Perkins. And he didn't know what the hell he was doing half the time.
Yeah.
He didn't know where to line up. And so, you know, some of the other guys on defense will tell you, I'm not sure Kendall knows what he's doing. But, man, you know, he makes up for it because athletically he's off the charts. And now they're moving him inside, where now your blocking scheme is going to be, who do you want to double team? Do you want to double team Kendall Perkins? You got a healthy Mason Smith, who grew up back his mom and dad lived about 10 minutes from my home. Back Makai Wingo, you know, for LSU, and House knows how to coach linebackers. He did that with the Chiefs, and now he's done a great job at LSU as the coordinator. But I've never seen a freshman on defense, other than Tyrann, have that big of an impact. And for a front seven guy, there's never been anybody in my span of over almost 40 years covering LSU that has had that big of an impact.
Mike Detillier with us on 3HL, at Mike Detillier on Twitter.
Hey, I got one on the way out here for you, Mike. Ed O. I saw somebody put his name in the hat for what, like Northwestern or
which would be
something?
amazing.
That would be a disaster, a beautiful disaster. Is he going to coach again?
I'm going to say that is still a slight possibility.
Yeah.
But I talked to him yesterday. It was his birthday yesterday. And, turned 62 years old. So, you know, and we grew up fairly close to one another, within miles. And so I've known Eddie O for a long time. And you know what? Waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and, man, the way he recruits and, you know, not going to bed till midnight, and he did that all that time. I'm going to say it would have to be the absolute right spot, but I don't think – and he had a couple opportunities this offseason, and one was at Notre Dame. Him and Marcus Freeman became pretty close when he tried to get Marcus to be his defensive coordinator, and Marcus wanted him to go to Notre Dame, and he turned it down. Hey, too damn cold over there, T-boy.
Love it. Oh, man. College football would definitely be better with him.
No
back
question
somewhere.
about it. Hey,
He is, and I'm going to tell you, when he was at Ole Miss, I had so many people there would call me. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't have a personality. He doesn't say anything. And then almost that seismic change in him.
Yeah.
And he became a bigger than life personality, and everywhere he goes, you know, the spotlight's on him. And so, yeah, he's had an eventful time since he got released from LSU. Just put it to you that way. But he's quite the character. But, you know, I do think sports, just like Sean Payton coming back and coach.
Yeah.
I do think that there's something there that, like him or dislike him, you love to hear him, you know, what he's going to say, because you're not quite sure the filter between his brain and his mouth.
I love those people.
And we saw it from Sean yesterday.
Yeah.
We saw it and heard it from Sean yesterday.
Yep. That's
Love
right.
it, Mike. Hey, thanks for hopping on last minute, man, with some perspective on Jaden Daniels and also Arden Key. Really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thanks so much. Hey, we can't wait. Game 1, man. Saints Titans.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Saints,
we'll have
Saints
to have
favored
you.
by 3.5 in that
We'll have
one.
to have you back on before that.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, all I know one thing is if I'm the Titans, I run Derrick Henry 28, 30 times in that game. Saints with 2 new defensive tackles. I'm going to test that and do exactly what the Falcons did game 1 a year ago. Michael Thomas bailed them out late.
Yeah.
But all I'm telling you is I think the Saints are going to get a fistful of Derrick Henry in that game.
I love it.
I love it. Thank you, Mike. Good to hear from you, man.
Thanks, Mike.
All right,
Thanks,
y'all.
Mike.
Take care.
All right.
Take care.
Yeah.
Mike Detillier, at Mike Detillier on Twitter, draft expert, covers the Saints and all of those LSU.
Like LSU
We could talk
historian.
all day with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, all day long.
Yeah,
Grew
I
up
was
on the
going to ask him
bayou
about
with-
Perkins because
Yeah. Grew up on the
That-
bayou with Ed Orgeron.
Yeah. That's
I remember
Covering
Brian Kelly telling me last year that Perkins was just scratching the surface. I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
animal.
When we come back, you'll hear from Derrick Henry and Harold Landry and more. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
What's happening, people? Ron Slay here. A Superbook. You got to get in on this. You've been waiting on the parlay. I know it's been kind of quiet about the last month or so, but it's back, baby. Yes, the parlay will be out and popping, and you can dive into it on Superbook. They're going to already post it for you. So all you got to do is go click on the button. But first and foremost, you got to download the Superbook Sports app. Visit superbook.com to wager and win today, and go and use the promo code SLAY. That's right, SLAY. When you use that promo code, you score up to $250 with the first bet bonus. You win or lose, you still get some money. Superbook is going to match your first bet up to $250 if you use that promo code when you first sign up. Yep. Wager. Yep. Deposit. Do it all in the same day. Parsley, what I'm going to have it for you? I'm going to have it for you tonight. Yep. It's going to be posted tomorrow. You can go get on in it. With the boxing. Yes, Spence versus Bud Crawford, baby. Who you riding with? We'll see. Visit superbook.com for terms and conditions. Gambling problem, call 1-800-889-9789. Book it.
3HL 1045, The Zone, Britt Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay. Appreciate Mike Detillier hopping on. What are you clapping about over there?
Just happy. She's happy to be back.
Happy to be back at work
Happy-
with her
oh,
boys.
so happy to be back.
Yeah, we missed
I
you
did
too,
miss y'all.
Babsy. We missed you.
We missed you. I mean, just ask the listeners how this show went.
I know. Oh, trust me, I heard. I heard it was an absolute Shiano show.
They're
that
bad.
There was one day we did like straight up sports talk. Straight up sports talk. Like ESPN network programming. And we got out of the show and we're like, what were we doing?
Yeah, that was
what was that?
It was all sports. Like,
what the hell did we just do?
So then you had to go completely the
Oh,
opposite
we made
way
up
the
for it.
next
I mean, we
made
couple
up for
days.
it.
Yeah.
We were a crap show yesterday, that's for sure. But I'll tell you this, like, it's funny though, because when we go off topic, that's when you get all the comments in the chat and all the phone calls.
lines,
and,
yeah.
I mean, just start talking about which snack you like the best from Hostess or Little Debbie, and man, you get all the messages.
Everybody has an opinion.
Or just say, I can't stand oatmeal cream pies.
yeah, you try to, yeah.
And then you will get demolished because that's the
Demolished.
worst take ever.
No, it's not. I
It's
can't
bad.
stand them.
It's pretty bad, yo.
Can't stand them. We were watching some Titans highlights from practice today.
Yeah.
Slay was like, dang, who's this guy right here? And it was like a one-handed catch. It was Chris Moore.
That was pretty good right there.
One-handed catch across the middle.
I don't like what I'm seeing right here out of Andre Dillard versus Chance Campbell.
Dillard reportedly had a tough day today.
What you don't know is that's really Dennis Daly. We just call him Dillard.
This is number 71, too.
Oh, no. Are you kidding? That's bad juju.
I don't know what he's supposed to be doing. So I'm going to leave it alone. I don't know what he's supposed to do.
He's definitely not blocking. He was encouraging.
Why
You're
would
doing
he-
really good on defense.
Trying to help Chase make the team and all that. Oh, man. Golf tournament coming up on the 7th, right? August 7th?
Yes.
It's going
That is
down.
Monday.
How come you never play, Babsy?
Because I don't
Scared.
want to.
Scared.
Because I hate losing, first of all.
So you don't want to be on our team?
No.
We finished second one year.
We're winners.
Yeah.
Babsy.
No.
Brett Kern said that was one of his
Not
most
to mention-
prized trophies, that second place
No,
zone
he
golf
did
tournament.
not.
Yes, he
Sure
did.
did.
He came on the air and said
I
it.
did.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, somebody has to take care of the show that day. So we know what you guys do on the
Why
golf
would
course.
you have to take care of the show,
I
Babs?
mean,
Oh, we got
come
you,
on.
Babs.
Ugh.
Just takes a quick nap.
Yeah,
But here's the
in the
thing.
car.
So usually it's me and Slay and Dave Elliott, our sales manager, and Barry, who's one of our better friends. We love him, and he's in the Zone family as well. And this year, I think we're going to add a fifth if this guy will take advantage of that opportunity. Travis Harder, Don Davenport's husband.
Mr. Babs.
You have my husband on the phone.
What's going on, guys? How we doing?
Do you have
Welcome
What
back.
in the
Welcome
world?
back,
I
first
did
of
not.
all.
I did not approve this.
He's
I
on
told
to talk
you
about
that.
Awaken 180
Yeah.
and all the great things he's doing with that.
Yeah, that's right. Do you have Tiny Tot Babs with you?
I do. She's back there crushing some nuggets and French fries from Mackie D's.
What? No. No. I just said
Yeah.
we got to get her back eating healthy.
Yeah,
She's been on assignment for a week.
Babs was going to make a home cooked meal tonight, Travis. You didn't know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Hey, would you be our fifth? Me and Slay will alternate shots. If you'll be our fifth.
Like I said, I'm just 12. I'll find other friends. It's okay. I'll make other friends.
You know, I would be honored, but I got to tell you guys, it was close. Today was a rough day for the kid and his golf clubs.
Oh gosh. Oh yeah.
What happened? What
Please
happened,
tell us
Harder?
what happened.
I'm sure Dawn told you that she was quote unquote on assignment last week. We had some good fun and
Yeah.
golf and beach and all that good stuff. And coming back today was a bit of a mess, but we got home and I looked like Clark W. Griswold crushing through BNA with about 48 suitcases on one of those easy carts.
She did tell us about all the suitcases. She's like, well, Travis
why
needs
do we
one, I
have
need
so many?
one, Baby Babs needs one, like golf clubs.
I'm sure BNA security loves watching us come through there because
Oh,
it's
a disaster.
a scene. But we get the Uber and I'm pushing this cart through, and she's got Hadley and the golf clubs, and Uber guy was awesome, loaded us up, got us home safely. He pulls away, and I'm like, where are my golf clubs?
They were left on the curb at Uber pickup.
Just chilling.
Well, you should have kept an eye on them.
I was in panic mode. And thankfully, the fine people over at our airport, security was able to locate, pull them back for me, and they're tucked away, and I'm going to put them in the bed tonight so we can keep a good eye on them.
Okay, can I just point this out?
Keep them close.
They're your golf clubs. You should be in charge of them.
Hey.
That is the biggest pain in the butt to travel with golf clubs. Are you kidding me? B, Mama was in charge of our child, the 3-year-old.
You're not going to win this
no
one, Carter.
stroller in a crazy parking circle garage. I am not in charge of the golf clubs.
But I was in charge of your 14 bags.
that's pretty.
Well, that's fine.
That's pretty valid.
You should have been in charge of your clubs. You know
Should've made
what?
it
Clearly.
Here's the other thing. It's such a hi, baby Babs. I hear you in the background. Here's the other thing.
I love this so much.
No, this is the other thing. Traveling with golf clubs, you always have to go to a different place to check them in. You always have to go to a different place to pick them up.
Yeah, that's true.
You always have. I mean, what a pain. See, your golf clubs are a problem.
You should have just rented clubs, Harder.
Yeah, I'm not that guy.
It's funny you say that, Mayor. I did mention that at one point when we were schlepping through the airport.
Crap. I'm sorry, Harder.
Trying to find out where his clubs were at one point. But in his defense, he got to play one of like the top beautiful courses there.
How'd you hit him?
So he's like, I don't want to rent clubs to play like a once in a lifetime course, right?
I get it.
Yeah,
How'd you hit him?
I was being fiscally responsible. I didn't want to have to go buy another whole set because I like those better than the ones I have.
Well, that's
Okay, yeah.
true. Yeah, that's a good point, Harder.
You don't want to have to redo the entire kitchen because the fridge doesn't fit.
I was going to say, do we want to get into the fridge?
Some great ice balls in there.
I got a bad connection, guys. Good talking to you.
See you, Harder. Man.
I got a bad connection.
Yeah, I told Slade during the break, I was like, we're going to call Harder. And he's like, she might not be on board with that.
No. Nobody decided to check with me first.
Yeah, I told him, Babsy. I told him.
Not even Hunk. And Hunk just got relegated to like the
He's six man.
Practice
Hey,
squad.
Slade was a six man.
Hey, yeah. Great living doing it.
People that died in World War II are in front of me right now.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, it's just.
What's your family historian's name?
Buell?
Buell's in front of you.
Buell's in front of me as well.
Buell. Kong says someone's sleeping on the couch tonight. Adosa says, welcome back. I missed her so much.
Aw, thanks.
Yeah. It was good to
Really
hear
sweet.
little H in the background.
I can't believe you fed her McDonald's. Come on.
Kids love that stuff.
Come on, Mr. Babs.
That's amazing. That's who got to be keeping them in business.
We'll fit in some of the King and Landry, as we've been telling you, when we come back 3HL 1045 The Zone.
Please. Twitch, please. You know I got to get that in. Hey, are you paying stupid interest rates on your credit cards and it's going to not be fun to pay them off? Well, I have an idea for you, and it's called Loan Pronto, and it's called Your Home Equity to help pay them off. Get some cash out, do that home improvement project maybe. Loan Pronto can help you get that cash out in less than a week. And I know many of you are like, have you seen the interest rates, Davenport? Come on. Well, guess what? You don't have to touch your primary mortgage. You can keep that 3% rate that you have intact and just get the money out you need. You can access up to 90% of your home's value too. And in most cases, you don't even need an appraisal to be able to do it. So stop paying those insane interest rates to the credit card company, and get hundreds of thousands in cash in as little as 5 days at a rate that is a fraction of what the credit card companies charge. Call Loan Pronto now. The even faster Equity Express line of credit is available. 615-499-5780. If you have questions, you want to check it out, loanpronto.com. I've used them, love them. They can help you out too. 615-499-5780. Loan Pronto, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
that drink. 3HL 1045 The Zone. What about Brant Snedeker playing in the golf tournament this weekend, the 3M Open in the Twin Cities in Blaine, Minnesota, named after Blaine Bishop.
Hitman, Minnesota.
Yep. Whole town now named after him.
How's he doing?
-7.
Nice.
I would say that is rolling.
He's through 11 holes today. Play has been suspended. He's -7, tied for 10th. Brant Snedeker had a 64 yesterday.
Oh, that's pretty.
One of my favorite people that I've ever come across because of this business. He is absolutely amazing, Snez.
So he's holding steady today.
Doing all right today. Yep. Harold Landry met with the media today following practice. He said his ACL's good.
Nah, man, I don't really focus on the pass like that. You know, I'm forward. What happened was, I tore it a while ago, and now it's damn near perfect.
Guess what, though? When
he thought about not saying that, and then he was like, "No."
Yeah, I'm gonna say it.
Yep.
It's when you're doing it, especially once you get to a year, like dog, you feel it, and you know you coming back stronger. Once you start going through that rehab, it's no doubt in your mind.
11 months is a healthy amount of time, right?
Yeah, without question.
What did yours take you?
6.
Holy.
I was back.
Well, he was not supposed to be back before 6, but he was back before 6.
I was playing in the pro-am down here. Chad Newman would have lost his mind.
I was going to say, like, how much trouble would you have been in?
Oh, my gosh. boy. Because they didn't want me to come home anyway because of that.
Because they knew you might do something?
Mm-hmm. I'm out of here, y'all. I'm playing.
Slay's a wild child.
Yep.
Gonna do what I want to do.
It worked out, though.
It did work out. It got you ready. Derrick Henry met with the media following practice today also and said he was focusing on 2023, not his contract.
Yeah, I can't worry about that. I got to take it one day at a time and trust in my training and trust in what I've been doing and go out there and be me and let everything take care of itself. You know, I pray and then let everything else happen the way it's supposed to. Everything happens for a reason, but just take it one day at a time, continue to want to improve and get better every day, and then let the chips fall where they may.
I like that.
One day we were doing the show, and Derrick Henry released a tweet, and he doesn't tweet a lot, but he started talking about running backs not being paid what they're worth.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then there was a flurry of tweets from other running backs. He talks about his tweet.
Yeah, well, I just, saw that tweet that I replied to that everybody saw, and, you're crazy. And, at some point, we got to say something. We got to stand up for one another. So I just put a group message of all the top guys and all the RBs and, just had open dialogue, everybody writing and, saying how they feel. And, hopefully we get more and more guys on board and be a part of it and it be something big and hopefully changes to come.
Look how easy it is to get in touch with everybody.
Yeah. He's the guy. I mean, like, if there's going to be a voice from the running backs, I mean, he's the guy now. Christian McCaffrey's kind of taking it. But Derrick Henry asked today if he felt like he was underpaid.
Do I think I've been underpaid? I don't think so much underpaid, but I just think that the market's going down. So I just think, guys who've been playing at a high level, playing at an elite level, the game is based off production. And if you've been productive at a high level, consistently, then I think you should get your share due. I mean, you see these other positions that you hear about the stars, the superstars who've been productive, playing at a high level, some of the best in the league, they're getting these big contracts and getting their share due. And as a running back, we want the same thing. And that tag position, I was tagged, and we had to negotiate at a deadline. So I know how Josh, Saquon, and Tony and all those guys feel. So I just wanted to get a group together and try to start something, and I'm glad we did.
Want to be starting something.
What's dope?
I used to hear stories about like every level that Derrick Henry played in, coaches tried to move him out of the running back position because, I mean, he's just so big, right? He was asked today if Nick Saban ever considered making him a linebacker at Alabama.
No, it probably was a thought in his head at the time, but I probably switched it as time went on. So, but he's a defensive minded coach, so I'm probably sure he had visions of me being on the defense side of the ball.
What kind of linebacker would you have been?
I think probably a Ray Lewis type.
He's got jokes. Maybe not jokes.
No, he's serious.
Yeah, he ain't joking.
Coming down here.
Yeah, he also told kids that if it was him like him today, he'd also probably play linebacker because he can make more money that way.
That's right.
Well, I mean, he's not wrong.
Nope.
Not
at all.
wrong.
Not at all.
Harold Landry back out there again. Let's go back to Harold Landry. He talked about how happy he is to be back.
It's been awesome. I mean, like, being away from the game for as long as I've been, missing all of last year. Obviously you miss making plays in front of the fans in the games because, that feeling is just euphoric. But honestly, like, being away for that long, you start to appreciate and miss even more, like, just, like, coming out here on the practice field and, hearing Jeff talk ish or just hearing your guys joking around. But at the same time, everybody's just out here grinding and having a good time. So, I mean, sorry, it's hot, but
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I'm ecstatic to be back.
I mean, doesn't he sound great? Like in
Yeah.
just a great mental space.
He sounds giddy.
Yeah. He was asked when his knee started to feel better again, 11 months out from the ACL.
Sometime this offseason, to be honest, like, I was out here doing full speed stuff in the offseason, so I would imagine before then. But no, it's felt good for a while. Now, I'm just, continuing to do what I do, making sure, that I'm ready to go out here and, practice, get these reps in live action.
Yeah.
I like
Love
it.
it, man.
He's a big
Again,
piece.
it's on.
People forgot because he was injured so early last year.
Yeah.
Titans at Bears 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Wow.
2 weeks.
How about that?
Celebrate
down.
accordingly tomorrow.
Or like
Tonight.
here in about 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Or that.
What is this stuff? Oil fire?
Yeah.
You said
Fired up.
it's a seductive whiskey?
He'll like it, she'll love it.
I don't know about all that.
That's what I said, Babs. I'm just telling y'all the tagline.
We
That's
gave
a
you
hell
something
of
to
an
take home.
advertising.
We gave you something to take home to harder.
Yeah, I'll let him try it.
Back at it on Monday. Titans training camp this weekend. We'll have full details all over the zone on Monday. And we'll also talk with Chris Lowe about some college football. Tennessee hits the practice field for the first time on Wednesday next week. It's here, y'all.
It's officially here.
Hey, thanks for the participation. Love y'all. Have a great weekend. Be safe out there. Good night. God bless.
See ya.
There she is.
Welcome back,
There
Babs.
she is.
3HL After Party brought to you by Waken 180.